Lost in the Script, episode 83, Choose Wisely.
83, we're getting closer to...
to 100?
To 100. Okay. Choose Wisely. This is an episode name because we'll be talking about some topics. Well, you need to choose wisely who you surround yourself with, who you choose as your leader.
Who you choose to go on vacations with.
That's your friend, who you choose to be around. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on in particular countries. I ain't leaving the country no time. No time.
You scared. The Mexicans got you scared. And it ain't the people of Mexico, it's the people they bringing them. They coming with them on trips.
It's set up. What up, Regina? How y'all doing? Keep up. What up, Tommy?
Shabang bang.
What up, Papa Naya? If how you say your name, Pop or Naya Shelly? I don't know if I say your name or not. That look weird. What's going on with that?
You just call that name weird?
No, this. Oh. You see how I look on the screen?
Oh.
Hold on. That look weird. Hold on. Oh, this don't look good.
Oh, it's in white instead of
yes.
Black.
I don't know what happened.
Well, we just have to roll with it this episode.
I don't know what's going on. Hopefully it fixes on its own. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. Let's go ahead and start. How y'all doing? Let's have a little conversation today on some interesting topics. All right, let's get started. First up.
You say, yep, my daughter's name is Naya.
My daughter's name is Naya. Nia. I'm her dad. Oh, okay.
That's what's up.
All right, man. I see that name Ya in there. Most time your name. That's good. R. Kelly asked judge to toss federal child pornography conviction or grant new trial. The only reason why I'm talking about this is because for whatever reason, every damn week, somebody starts some post saying R. Kelly can get out. Like, bro.
Is the King of R&B coming back?
King of
R&B.
What
it really is, they want him to come back and do a verses. That's what it is.
You really think it's that simple? They want the man to come do it.
They want the man to do a verses.
So right here it said 2 months after he was found guilty on federal child pornography charges, R&B singer R. Kelly is asking the judge to either toss out the convictions or grant him a new trial.
Kelly's attorney has something.
You think he got something new to talk about?
If he's asking that, does he have something to prove that the case is not going to withhold?
People file motions all the time to have it thrown out. It's kind of what you're supposed to do. It's procedure. Kelly's attorney filed a routine post-conviction motions on Tuesday, arguing prosecutors failed to prove their case and allowed a witness to provide false testimony. In a motion seeking a new trial, defense attorney Jennifer Bonjean claimed the prosecution's first witness, clinical psychologist Daryl Turner, gave perjured testimony about his hourly rate, and prosecutors failed to correct that error. The motion states that Turner, who testified about grooming and the impact of victims on child abuse, sex abuse, told jurors his rate is $250 per hour when a contract executed prior to the trial shows he was paid $450 per hour for his work. He also stated he worked for 2 hours in a case when the contract shows he worked for 6.5 hours. They're looking for anything.
Any small details.
Hey, that's what you're supposed to do. Any detail they left out, hey, you can try to get your case thrown away. Look at this one. R. Kelly's ex-manager sentenced to 20 months in prison for stalking singer's abuse victim.
Was that the one that was going on?
Yeah.
No Choke No Joke?
I don't think he was on Choke No Joke show.
They talked about him.
I think they talked about him. I'm not sure if he was there, but it said Donnie Russell pleaded guilty this summer to harassing a woman after she filed a civil lawsuit against Kelly. Kelly's former manager was sentenced Thursday to 20 months in prison after pleading guilty to charges that he stalked one of Kelly's sexual abuse victims in an effort to keep her silent. Donna Russell pleaded guilty in July, using threats, harassment, intimidation to silence one of the women abused by Kelly, who was convicted last year in sex trafficking and racketeering charges and sentenced to 30 years in prison in June. Ahead of the sentencing, Russell Lord argued he should receive only probation, arguing he led an otherwise exemplary life before crossing the line in an attempt to curry favor with Robert Kelly. And he might try to throw R. Kelly under the
Pretty much.
He ain't getting out. I already told y'all how I think he gonna get out.
You think his storyline gonna end in death?
I think he gonna end in the casket. R. Kelly may get out of prison. This is the one. The post that somebody put up on Daily Loud. R. Kelly may get out of prison after asking judge for a new trial. He is now facing a 10 to 90 year sentence after getting a 30-year sentence a few months ago. I'm only, like I said, this is just like an update on this because I'm waiting for how this is gonna end. And about another year or two, when he's not in the media as much anymore, and then all of a sudden he's gonna jump back in the media, and that's gonna be all she wrote. Another storyline. Brittney Griner taken to penal colony in Russia's Mordovia region. I'm sorry. So they took her to a prison colony. I think this is a work colony. So I don't know if she's going there to break rocks and shit. But now it's the end of the year after the midterms.
They still didn't get her though.
They still didn't get her yet. I assume they're gonna get her for the midterms. But the red wave didn't happen. So they're like, you can go ahead and stay.
I'm pissed.
Or are they going to wait until 2024? They're going to make her sit over there for 2 years? Is it really going to, first off, do you believe they're using her as a political, Russia as well, using her for a political pawn? Do you believe that they're using her for that reason? Or is this some deeper
Maybe so.
reason to have her over there?
Or she's going through her MK Ultra upgrading session over there.
Is she supposed to be the next Colin Kaepernick?
Maybe.
U.S. basketball star Brittney Griner has been taken to penal colony in Russia region. Her lawyer said, confirming the earlier Reuters report. Now they're not talking about the guy no more. The Caucasian dude who Russia captured from America, who they accused of being a spy. They're not talking about him no more again. Remember his wife came out a few months ago and was like, y'all keep talking about Brittney Griner. My husband's been over there for years in the prison. Can you please try to get him out?
Can he get some press and attention too?
And they was like, oh yeah, he over there too. Let's talk about him a little bit. And now it's like, they ain't talking about him.
They ain't talking about none of them.
They don't give a fuck about none of them. Yeah. Another case. Now this right here is what confused. This leaves me confused because you have a warrant that now we know was a false warrant. You go into the wrong home, you kill a person, and you don't immediately charge anybody with anything. You try to make it seem like they did nothing wrong. But now here we are. Louisville reaches $2 million settlement with Kenneth Walker, Breonna Taylor's boyfriend. So if you could settle with him for $2 million. I forgot how much they settled with Breonna Taylor. Was it $20 million or something like that?
I don't remember. Maybe somebody in the comments.
So you could settle.
Remember?
So you could settle for all this money, but you didn't just arrest the officers. Like, how did they do nothing wrong, but you were paying money?
Well, they never tried to go after them. They just take the bag and run.
Well, I won't say they didn't try to go after them. They did. There was a campaign for a while to get them arrested.
Did Kenneth Walker go after them?
Yeah. Instead they went to courts and they settled. You believe they shouldn't settle?
No. What's better, justice or money?
Well, what's better, no justice or nothing?
What you mean?
You really think they're gonna actually give them justice in this system? Come on, get it out.
Sometimes things happen.
When? Give me an example.
I can't offer you one right now.
I know you can't. Brain give me an example.
Foggy.
Oh yeah, it's real foggy. Speaking of storylines.
Oh, we going into this early?
Are you gonna wait?
No, let's go ahead.
Hold on. Cause we going into this.
Oh,
this is talking about some storylines.
Here we go.
Hold on. I really wanna. Okay, there you go.
It's better than normal now.
All right, it's fixed now. All right, here we go. Another storyline we're gonna talk about. We're gonna go into a quick.
Quick.
It's gonna be, is a lot to say, really? we finally watched.
It ain't gonna be in and out.
Huh?
It ain't gonna be an in and out. I want to hear what people in the comment section have to say about Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, let me know if y'all
Because it ain't Black Panther, it's Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, let me know if you've seen the movie. If any of you has seen the movie, but finally got around to watching the movie, and yeah,
I fell asleep on the shit in the middle of the movie. Me and Duke was watching it together. He had to wake me up, rewind back to 10, 15 minutes.
How you rewind? We was at the movie theater.
We won't at no damn movie theater. Stop telling fucking lies. Don't we set movie theater? We won't at nowhere near a movie theater.
Well, people had it on Amazon too. But listen. Okay, what are your overall thoughts on the movie?
It was terrible.
As a movie,
it was
not just
terrible.
As the things you didn't like about as far as the agendas they're pushing. You think the movie itself?
I think the movie itself was terrible.
What would you give it?
I give it a 2 out of 10. They better be glad they're getting a 2 because I really want to give it a 1.
What's the 2 then?
The 2 is sympathy.
Sympathy numbers.
Sympathy and payola.
Well, you had to like something about the movie.
I ain't like nothing about the movie.
Nothing.
Nothing.
The fight sequences.
I ain't like the fight scenes. I ain't like shit.
None of the characters.
I ain't. When did Lupita get ass? By the way, I have never noticed a Lupita having a backside.
Maybe she always wore clothes that covered her bottom,
and now she's just let it out, trying to get more people to go watch it.
I don't know. Keeper said, "Nope, haven't watched it. Doesn't seem interesting." Well, we're not going to tell the storyline just in case you ever decide to watch it. If you're one of those people that don't like spoilers, we won't say anything about it.
So we not offering spoilers?
Oh, you want to give spoilers too? I mean, most people have probably seen it, but some people don't want to hear all that.
It was terrible. And y'all gonna go in. I didn't think Angela Bassett's performance was that good in the movie either.
No, I disagree. I think Angela Bassett had a really good performance.
I don't think she had the greatest performance in the movie.
That's it?
It was a whole bunch. You know what it was? It was a whole bunch of masculine women in Wakanda. That's what it was. Shuri, she looked like a kid from Kid and Play. Then you had Riri. She has a lot of dykism going on.
Very strong tomboyish.
It was more than strong tomboyish shit going on. It was just straight dykism throughout the whole damn movie. That's what it was.
Dykism. And Angela Bassett was, a strong feminine woman, wouldn't she? They did replace. Let me just go ahead and get into it. The movie wasn't good to me. The story was the movie was very emotional. They tried their hardest to make it a really, really emotional movie.
I didn't get no emotion.
I felt no emotion watching the movie at all. They definitely used Chadwick Boseman to try to sell this movie. Definitely used his death to sell this movie.
Are we gonna talk about the Mexicans?
I'm about to say it right now. Namar, the token people. The whole damn movie, they beating up the Wakandans. They outsmarting them. They're more strategic.
Let me tell you, there's a scene at the end when Wakanda decide to use a strategy by going into the water with a boat. Now I say it's probably like, let's say it's an estimate 500 Wakandans on this top of this boat. By the time the blue Mexicans was done with them and Shuri and Namor had fought and they coming back to tell them, we've come to peace.
Yeah.
It was 8 Wakandans and they were surrounding their ass.
Still deep.
If they would have came back 30 seconds later, it wouldn't have been nobody.
And the only people that survived were the characters.
The main characters were the ones that was at the tip of the boat where they had them.
She said spoiler. Black Cherubim, there will never again be a black man as a Black Panther, but we still got Action Jackson. Lupita had that thing.
I didn't notice Lupita had that thing.
Hey, I ain't never noticed it. Maybe, like I said, I think maybe she wore clothes that didn't kind of show her body, but
in every scene they had it either where her ass was facing toward the camera or she would turn around. It was like they was selling Lupita.
They was selling the hell out of Lupita.
Because she was the only feminine thing in the movie. It was Lupita.
Are we going to talk about the fact they made T'Challa deadbeat. Not even. I'm not gonna say deadbeat.
He wasn't a deadbeat.
He wasn't a deadbeat, but they made him. They made
him a baby daddy.
Yeah, and they made her a single mother,
a baby mama.
So, and I still want to know what the hell happened in the 5 years after the snap with Thanos. We didn't get to none of that in the movie. Like none of that.
Because they were so focused on Neymar and his blue Mexican people. That's what it was.
We didn't learn nothing about what happened during those 5 years. The turmoil, the political turmoil that happened. Nothing. All we know is he disappeared. He come back. We don't know how. I guess he lived a year. And then he got some weird sickness that they can't cure. Wakandans can't cure it.
Sherry, why couldn't she cure him?
All of a sudden he dies. But the Mexicans, the tokens, I'm gonna keep calling them Mexicans.
They were like roaches. Like it was so many of them.
They were deep.
They were deep. Like when he first came and told Wakanda, either y'all gonna help us, or we gonna come back and we gonna flood the city because y'all can't beat us. And damn it, by the end of the movie, they couldn't beat them.
Okay, let me ask this question. The fact that the tokens had their king and their leader, and the Wakandans didn't, shouldn't it go this way? Shouldn't they be a little bit, caught off guard, not on high alert, not led correctly because they don't have their
because they
king?
didn't have a head.
They didn't.
And when they did have a head, it was she was getting her ass whooped too by Neymar until the mother came back spiritually.
And said, no. She
told her don't be like Killmonger.
No. She was winning at that point. She was about to get him up out of here. I guess, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna say it. So when she took the herb, she saw Killmonger.
Because that was who she was challenging.
Because she wanted revenge.
And anger.
So they brought Killmonger back to demonize him again.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they made Neymar the low budget Killmonger. Because he wasn't as smart as Killmonger. When they captured the Riri, that's the one who made the scientist who made the machine that they wanted to not exist. They made the machine and they went out to Riri. The Neymar dude went to Wakanda, said because T'Challa opened up his borders to the rest of the world, he made all of us vulnerable. You're going to bring us a scientist or we're going to kill y'all.
And of course the scientist was Riri.
It was Riri.
Which was a black woman and they weren't going to give her up.
So the Wakandans go get Riri, but the tokens kidnapped them while they're going to go, like what, you told me to go get her and then you come and fight me. Like I don't understand. Then they kidnap her, they take her to the city, they let her see the city and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, well, if he's supposed to be this guy who's out about protecting his people, he should have immediately killed her and Shuri right there.
Well, he didn't really kidnap her because he was giving her a tour of the city. They was on a date.
Looked like they was on a date, exactly. They basically Shuri went on a date with the damn Neymar.
That's the only time
dude.
she was soft and feminine actually is when she was with Neymar. So, the black women, they were swooning over this Mexican, this blue Mexican. Well, he wasn't blue. His people were blue.
He was brown man.
But they were swooning over this brown man, as they call him. But, when we had brothers in the first movie, they didn't, swoon over us, so.
Hey, don't be jealous. I watched Black Panther on kind of
They like green hot sauce.
She said she's going to watch when it gets to streaming. So basically, it was a woman king with Mexicans. Exactly. It was woman king too with Mexicans.
I guess they like, black women don't like Texas Pete. They like green hot sauce.
So yeah, basically this movie I probably would give it, I would never watch it again. I probably would give it like a 4 out of 10. But if you want to give it a 5-star rating, I probably would give it like a 2.5.
Are we going to talk about how once again, Hispanics use black people again to get something like they always fucking do?
Well, that's when if they give Neymar a spinoff, the first thing came to my mind is, what is his storyline going to be? His storyline is completely attached
to Wakanda.
But let me say this. Hold on.
Revenge.
Let me be fair. When we first met Black Panther, it was in what's his name? Captain America: Civil War, wasn't it? That's the first time we met Black Panther. It was in Captain America's movie. If I'm not mistaken, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. So he was introducing that movie the same way Neymar was introducing Wakandan movie.
Well, you Neymar half white. Shouldn't he be introduced in the white people movie?
In the comics, he's half white, which is funny. They didn't make him half white.
Yeah, they never talked about his father.
They didn't talk about his father in the movie. But in the comics, he's half white, which is funny because that means they're showing that the Mexicans have a connect. They're basically adjacent to white. They're right there with white people. They align with white people. But in the movie, Neymar, like I said, he's a low budget killmonger. He wants to killed the people on the surface because they live under the water because they enslave his people. I said, you gonna replay? You just did this movie with Killmonger. You just did this movie. You just redoing the movie. But he's not as good as Michael B. Jordan played his character. I know a lot of people were giving him credit saying how he was so good in this movie, but
he won't shit.
He kind of was just a typical,
I didn't even understand half of the stuff he was saying half of the time.
All right. I think we went far enough in that movie now. Not the biggest fan of it. Would never watch it again. Not looking forward to the third one.
They have literally destroyed it. It is done. It is finished.
Yeah.
They talk about it. It was emotional. It was good. Bring out your Kleenex. What Kleenex would you bring out?
Yeah, I didn't feel any emotion.
No, bring out
whatsoever.
your pillows and your blankets because you're going to go to sleep.
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan. But, I'm sure there's a lot of people who liked the movie, so it is.
You know who liked it? Black women liked it.
I'm pretty sure. There's a lot of black men that liked it too.
Yeah,
and obviously Mexicans.
I'm sure they
which is funny because there was a lot of Mexicans that made videos
talking
angry.
about that. They angry. The Neymar.
The angry Mexican.
They were angry though.
They
were very hostile.
It was. I remember when we saw the scene of them coming out of the water, and Trevor said, "Look, just like in America, they're coming out of the water."
Exactly. Wakanda. That scene in Black Panther where the Mexicans are coming out of the water. It's just like them coming out of the water in the border, and going into Compton and Watts and taking over. In California, that's what it was.
All right, let's move forward.
Terrible movie.
Speaking of Mexico, I'm sure y'all have seen this case. Mexico invades American woman's death as femicide. All right. So a group of friends, quote unquote, we'll use that term real lightly in this sentence. A group of friends go to Mexico to cabal together.
Oh, remember? Oh, one more thing. You had a good. We'll go right back to Wakanda real quick. You remember when you said where the scene opening up, and Queen Ramona is at the UN?
Oh yeah.
And they're telling her Wakanda, Black Panther is dead, so they feel they're vulnerable. Yeah. And while she's at the thing,
but in the same scene, they showed the Dormalize. They were beating up the Americans trying to take it.
What?
We don't need a man. We could defend our own country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please definitely don't leave that part out.
They definitely did that strong black woman. We don't need no man.
That trope.
They definitely threw that at the beginning of the movie.
In the beginning of the movie, they threw out through the whole damn movie.
I'm saying they did it immediately.
And let's talk about the mountain
Nigga, I thought
king
we were moving
person. What was the point of his role in the movie?
M'Baku. He basically
what was his role in the movie? He didn't do shit.
All we know him for in this movie is getting punched in the chest.
Oh, he tried to come behind Neymar and hit him with that thing. Neymar just punched his ass straight across the damn room.
He just punched him in the chest and took him out, and getting bullied by Shuri, I guess. That's you gonna help me.
I'm done for now.
Okay, you got it all out.
I didn't get it all out.
Well, go ahead then. Get it out.
No, I'm done.
All right, back to this.
Okay, back to the black woman that was killed in Mexico.
Yeah. By the way, it says Black Panther Wakanda Forever box office breaks 200 million second week forecast reveal. They said it.
They think it's going to outgross the first Black Panther.
I don't know about that, but who knows?
May do that.
Who knows? So these group of friends went to Capitol together, and a fight broke out apparently, and it led to the death of this girl, Shanquella Robinson, and they came home and told the parents of the girl that it was alcohol poisoning.
Now this was a man.
Yeah,
this is a black man that came back and told him
it was alcohol poisoning, and now the Mexico police officials are like, no, she died of a broken neck and spine. So I'm not going to show the video of the violence that ensued. But
I don't want to see it because it's going to piss me off. I do not want to see it.
The girl was not fighting back. She didn't want to fight. But this is what I'm saying.
That's a coward.
Choose wisely, because you can't just, a lot of people like to leave the country, go places with people who they think are friends. When you leave your area of comfort and you're vulnerable, you have to be very, very particular who you'll have around you.
It can't even be family members sometimes.
Like, we're not even talking
plotting on you too.
Like, I'm not even talking about leaving the country, leaving the state. We've seen plenty of stories of people leaving the state with somebody and then they get mad with them and leave them stranded. Now it's different when you just in another state, because No, you can get home. You know.
And don't be, you know what? And don't be letting, when you go to these countries with other people, don't be letting them pressure you with leaving outside a tourism area. Well, because they'll try to say, let's go out and see the real. No, we don't need to see the real shit. We good right here where we is.
We tourists. We stay in a tourist area.
Exactly. Even though they'll get you in the tourist area too.
Yeah, but this wasn't the case of them not staying in the tourist area. This was the case, it seems to me, of envy and jealousy.
Exactly.
Leading to the death of a young woman. As the scriptures tell you, what can stand before envy? That's a very dangerous emotion.
You shouldn't have an evil eye towards your brother or your sister.
It says, when we heard the 25-year-old Shanquella Robinson had died from alcohol poisoning, we all knew that Khalil Cook, Malik Dyer, Winter Donovan, Alyssa Hatt, Dejanay Jackson, and Nazir Wiggins were lying.
It is Hyatt.
Huh?
I think it's Hyatt.
Hyatt?
Like the Hyatt Hotel?
I think I heard that name before, but I forgot who had it. Less than 24 hours after North Carolina Beat got involved in the suspicious death of 25-year-old Shanquella Robinson from Charlotte, North Carolina, a video has now come out telling what happened, and the lie that alleged suspects told about alcohol wasn't true, and they all knew it. The truth is, all these can't be trusted sleazebag bums. Okay, now keep in mind, this the North Carolina Beat. They are the ones who broke this story, but it's more of an opinion site.
Like?
Huh?
Oh.
Go ahead.
You said it was like the shade room.
Yeah. It's closer to like the shade room. I'm not saying it to down it. It's just the way they write their stuff is very opinion based, obviously. But they do get their facts. In the late October, Shanquella Robinson, her so-called best friend Khalil Cook, and 5 others mentioned above went to Cabo, Mexico. The next day, Shanquella was murdered, but her best friend Khalil Cook told Shaquilla's mother, Salamandra Robinson, that she had alcohol poisoning. The other so-called friends said the same story. A video obtained by North Carolina Beach shows a different story and explains why Shaquilla's face was swollen, had a knot on her head, her eyes were swollen, and her lips split. That's because she was assaulted by one of the girls on the trip named Dejanay Jackson. Guess what? Her so-called best friend, Khalil Cook, just stood there and didn't do shit. When Khalil returned to Charlotte, he brought Shaquilla's belongings to her mother's house and told her again that Shanquella had died from alcohol poisoning.
How many videos on YouTube where you see there are women fighting? I'm talking about black women. It could be really any race of women. And the man be holding the camera.
Nowadays,
do you think that's good?
Nowadays, a lot of them.
Huh?
Nowadays, a lot of them.
Most of the time, the man be instigating the fight.
Instigating it?
I've seen a whole bunch of videos, especially those hood fights. I don't like watching them, but I do know there are hood fights out there on YouTube. And the man be standing there instigating the fights with these women.
That definitely happens, yeah.
That's not good.
No, it ain't.
And I hate that black people are now getting involved. You know, we were already the face of, the ratchet reality TV. And now you have like baddies, Blueface, them, they have like the Bad Girls Club shit where they have, black women going on there fighting. I don't like that black men are doing that. And you try to say, well, they're doing it with the white people are doing it. So what's wrong with them doing it? It's a problem when you're doing it to your own people.
These same people are doing it on other shows.
But it's a problem when you are doing it to your own people. Just because these other races of people get them on these reality TV shows where they can go on there and fight and be ratchet and stuff doesn't mean that we have to do it as well. Let's have some dignity.
I'm saying they're going to do it regardless.
Well, it don't matter if they're going to do it regardless. I don't want to be a part of it, fund it, and capitalize off of it. I'm saying they should feel the same way.
When they don't feel the same as you.
It's just sad that we don't.
They look at it like.
They look at it like we about to make some money off these women acting crazy on these reality TV shows.
The women look at it like we about to make some money too.
Other ways to make money.
It is. Then every day Khalil came around Shaquilla's family. And when he was asked about the fight they had heard about, he lied and said he wasn't in the room when it happened. But a new video showed that he was standing there the whole time. In the video, you see Dejanay Jackson standing in front of a naked Shanquella Robinson before repeatedly punching Shanquella in the head and slinging her to the ground. Quilla, can you at least fight back? And identify a man could be heard saying. No, Quilla responded to Dejanay Jackson with punching her in the head, face, and back of her neck and knees. It was obvious that Shanquella did not want to fight because she said no when asked to fight back. The North Carolina Beat received permission from Shaquilla's family to share the video, and we have blurred out her nakedness as much as we can. The family told North Carolina Beat that they will They want people to see the truth, and there's as much help as possible to get justice for her. So we're not gonna watch the video. The fact that he told her to fight and she said no, and first off,
intervene.
Yeah, right there. Like, why are you telling her to fight? Why not break it up? There was a time in our community when women didn't fight. It was seen as, like, it's one thing for the men to be fighting. It was like, we have so much discourse. At some point, it boils over so much. All right, let's just fight, get this out the way, and move on. There was a time when you just didn't allow women around you to fight, especially the men.
When was this?
I'm talking about pre-60s.
Okay, I wasn't around then, because ever since I've been here since, late 80s, I recall them fighting.
See, the crack era came in the 80s, so shit changed then. So
what you trying to say?
What you mean? What I'm trying to say? If you were born in the 80s, you part of the what they call it, the ADHD era. That's where they get that from. Everybody just so happened to have attention problems coming from the 80s, because it wasn't just the drugs.
Whoa, I ain't no crack baby. What you trying to say?
Who said you're a crack baby, Tam? Who said? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the generation of the 80s.
Oh,
damn.
You're not talking about the people born in the 80s. You're talking about
the entire 80s, not just black people. The entire era. It's not just the drugs. It was everything involved in the 80s that led to. Let's be honest. You can make an argument that the 80s was when people got real used to seeing death. With the gangs and all that stuff. Them drugs led to other things that made things normal. So a woman fighting in the middle of the street became, I've seen worse. That's how people start looking at it. It is what it is. But there was a time when these type of things, a dude wouldn't just stand there and tell a woman to fight back to another woman. They just wouldn't even fight.
Oh, they get on, they love it. They record it.
Now,
World Star.
Was it a World Star era that made that even shoot even further? Like, that was bad at one. Like, when you heard the word World Star, you needed to get your back on the wall and watch your surroundings, because you didn't know what was going on. Is somebody shooting or fighting? What's going on? World Star was a very dangerous word like 7 years ago. Not as much now, because people don't fight no more. You don't get a chance to record nothing because people shooting.
Yeah.
You don't get a chance to record nothing, but yeah. Charlotte woman. Now this right here, they said it was the Desiree Jackson woman, but now they're saying it's this woman here. Charlotte woman Shanquella Robinson was reportedly grabbed by the neck and slammed by another girl on Mexico trip.
Her?
Yes. Says sources close to one girl who was at the trip in Mexico with 25-year-old Shanquella Robinson, who is now deceased, told North Carolina Beat that Shanquella was also allegedly grabbed by the neck and slammed on the ground by Winter Donovan, the girl in the now viral video to the right recording with her phone. We all wanted to know if there was a second part of the now viral video, because at the end of the 18-second clip video obtained by North Carolina Beat, from the looks of it, Shanquella is still alive. The sources said a second video has not been released, allegedly shows Winter Donovan with her arms around Shanquella's neck and then slamming her to the ground. From what I hear, there's another video and it shows a light-skinned girl, I'm presuming it's Winter, with her hands around Shanquella's neck and slamming her to the ground. The sources said after Winter slammed her on the ground, Shanquella does not move anymore. Once again, now she was only, if I'm not mistaken, she was only friends with the guy. That was her friend. So you can't, she went on a trip with a friend thinking, it's just me with my friend, and he got some other girls coming with us. When I read this story, I'm not going to read the whole thing, it seems like he brought these other two girls to fight.
That's what it felt like it.
I don't know if he brought them there to kill her, but it definitely seemed like there was some animosity there between these girls who wanted to fight her.
I don't think she knew nothing about it.
Maybe not. But that's the thing, when people envy you, might not even know they do. Who knows what petty beef or petty little thing they had going on. Now we outside the country, you by yourself.
So because they did it in Mexico, does the United States have any?
Yes, the FBI is investigating it. This low. It says a mystery death, and the death certificate. Obviously, we already know the death certificate said that it was a broken neck, and this is what the the family had to say. Let me show this.
Shanquella Robinson's parents say she took a trip to Mexico last month with a group of friends. Her friends made it back, but she didn't. They say she was found dead. They were told what happened, but they tell me tonight they're not buying it.
I just sit back and wait on God, because like I say, she's going to get justice.
A mystery in Mexico. How did a weekend with friends turn into a nightmare?
Something is not adding up right here.
Bernard and Salamandra Robinson say their daughter, 25-year-old Shanquella Robinson, traveled with friends from Charlotte to Cabo, Mexico on October the 28th.
Let me show this one here. Once again, choose wisely.
Welcome to The Factor Uncensored. Thank you for joining us tonight. We would begin with a disturbing. Friends initially told her the 25-year-old died from alcohol poisoning, but the autopsy is telling a totally different story, that she may have been beaten to death. New video shows those so-called friends attacking Shanquella
and another man.
And it looks.
I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm sorry. I know this is not a funny subject, but do you know who this is?
I don't know that.
Remember that viral video of the black reporter who was in the South?
Oh, yeah, he
had
had
a
that
fly
proper
from out.
voice
He said, I'm
until
sick of
the
this
flyer
country
came
ass
by.
town. Yeah, that's him. That's him now. Yeah.
But that's not always the way it works in America.
That's absolutely correct. You're an American citizen and you do something abroad, the United States still could have jurisdiction over you if that jurisdiction does not decide to prosecute you.
And it looks like Mexico has no interest in following up on this, right?
Mexico sees an American citizen and another American citizen or American citizens having a dispute. It ended in someone's death. And now everybody's back in North Carolina, allegedly. This is where these folks are from. But bottom line is, it's in the hands of the federal government at this point if they decide to prosecute.
Now, looking at this case, just how horrible is it? You go out of this country with your so-called friends.
Yeah.
They lied to your.
Come on, man. I don't want to see the.
Years, and it takes you years to realize they were never your friend. A lot of times I get a gut feeling when I think something is wrong. I don't know their situation.
It's called discernment.
That's what it's called.
You have to have great discernment with people. People have many layers. When you first meet someone, sometimes they're nice to you because they want something. When people always, let's be honest, no one is friends or close to you if they don't want something. Most friends, when you say friends, people you meet, especially when you meet people later in life, in your 20s, your 30s, 40s, most people only became your friend because y'all needed each other for something. It can start with having a common belief on something or interest in something, but typically you need each other for something. At some point, if that ever burns out, people will just turn on you. People have layers to them, and you will meet a certain side of people in different environments. She left the country with these people, and she saw another side of them. Now, she may have saw that side in them in North Carolina. Maybe they were talking kind of greasy there. Maybe they was threatening violence against her then. Maybe she ignored it. But, you know, if people, let me tell you something, if people threaten you at any moment, a friend, is it a person who, a friend threatened to do something to you, is that your friend anymore?
No.
I'm not, by the way, I don't know if this happened between them. I'm just using this as an example. When you sense any level of envy, animosity, anything towards you from a person you're calling a friend, you need to immediately nip that in the bud. Either call it out immediately, get an answer, or you need to get the hell away from them.
I'm an observer.
Exactly.
It takes me a very long time for me to trust anybody. I sit back and watch people.
Yeah.
Because like I always tell when I hire somebody, it take about a month or two
To
for
know
you
who
to
they
figure
really
out who
are.
the real person is.
Exactly.
After that 60, 90-day probation,
You get the real them.
they'll start showing their ass.
Yeah. Showing a little late. First, they was always early. Now they showing up 2-3 minutes late.
See, when they start off late, then I say, yeah, that's them.
They already there, yeah.
They showing themselves instantly, which is
letting you
normally
know.
black people.
Oh,
They
here we
always
go. See how y'all
they
always throw
late
niggas under the
5,
bus?
10
You see
minutes
that?
late. That's what you have to tolerate with, our people. I love them, but any other group, I have to,
You gotta watch them.
You gotta watch them closer because the expectation is for them to be late.
But yeah, this is just another case of, you gotta have discernment on people you're surrounding yourself with. And the dude, the fact this is supposed to be,
Was he the only male there with all those women?
I'm not sure if he was the only male, but I haven't heard any. I think it was 3 dudes, because one of the dudes was accused of rape, apparently.
Of who?
What's his name? Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. The guy named hold on. Nazir Wiggins.
Oh, okay.
I saw that he was accused of one of the girls, and it could be just them doing this because of, I don't know. But, apparently.
You see how that pops up now, the no internet before it goes into the screen?
Yeah. How you doing, Rosie?
Hey, Rosie.
That one was fighting. Her looks like a man. Yeah, when I first saw it, we was like, for my first thing, I said, that's a man. That's a transgender. This is going to be an even weirder story because it's a transgender beating up on a woman. But no, apparently it is a woman. They had a child. People are saying it is a woman. And the man instigating is gay. Probably. I mean, a dude goes on a trip to Mexico with, there's 3 dudes and 3 girls. I didn't hear the other guy say anything, but no, it was 2 dudes. And I think 3 dudes, 3 girls, or it was 2 dudes and 4 girls. I don't know if he was gay, but that's some whole shit to do. Be pushing for 2 women to fight. The story is both sad, a travesty, as well as questionable, to say the least. Yeah, don't really, like I said, I don't know what her relationship with these women were before, but if she had any issues with them, I don't know why you would leave the country with people you.
Oh, I'm about to say that's Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, the dude Kevin Samuels got.
He was the one who used to have him on the show. He found love with a black immigrant woman.
Like why come out with a story about alcohol poisoning yet videotape it? Who was setting up who? Well, it sounded like, that's what I was saying. It sounded like the dude brought the 2 girls to beat up on the other one, and then they recorded it so they could take it back to North Carolina and, I don't know, joke on her or try to embarrass her or something. I don't know. Yeah, and it just unfortunately led to her death. Hey, that's Kevin Samuels' lawyer friend in a suit with the glasses. How are we doing punk buddy story?
Exactly. When I saw him, Regina, I was like, I know him. That's the black dude from Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
Why would they go get a lawyer from Texas when they're from North Carolina?
Well, he's a lawyer. He's a not prominent. But
is he the next Ben Crump?
He's a highly successful lawyer out of Texas. You go get his opinion. That's why he asked him, what is the procedure that the government would do if Mexico don't take up investigating this? He said, well, the FBI can do it. So he's a lawyer. He knows how this works. So I guess that's why they brought him on to ask him that question. Yep, discernment is just like common sense. Both are old school concepts missed on the youth of today, in my humble opinion. Yeah, or honest opinion.
True.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say, I hate to say it, I'm not even going to say the youth don't have discernment. I mean, we could look at the church.
Yeah,
when we see how a lot of these older people go to these churches and allow themselves to be pimped by these pastors, and it's like they lacking their discernment as well.
Or when Dylan Roof went into a church,
and
a white kid,
and they just didn't say, what is this random Caucasian boy coming into the church for? Get out.
No, they
wanted to pray with him, and it's like,
put his ass out.
A person threatening you was never a friend, a low-key friend to me. Exactly. A person who threatened you jumped the gun. They let you know they're an enemy while they're still acting like a friend. They just jumped the gun a little too early. You can get away from them without even having no trouble. You should thank them. All right.
That's a sad story that happened to that young lady.
Yeah, hopefully the people who did that, hopefully they get justice.
Hopefully she'll get justice.
Yeah, they will get justice in the end.
And the Father, we waiting on the Lord. It's okay to wait on the Most High, but you gotta make moves yourself and not just sit there on your ass and hope something happens.
The scripture tell you in the end, do business. All type of business.
Sometimes you got to do business with hands,
The lawyer name is Dennis Scorling. I forgot to say his last name. San Francisco launches, and this I only put the story up because when I first put this segment together, I had the mindset that the girl that was beating on her was transgender. That was a rumor, but then after I got the facts, it is what's alleged, but we don't know either way. But this story right here, San Francisco launches transgender guaranteed income program. So would it be considered transgender reparations?
I'm tired of it.
And in San Francisco, now they have these programs going on in Atlanta. They said the one in Atlanta was for. They didn't use the word women. No.
Oh, I thought they said black.
They said how they said. I can't remember how they described it. It was so slick how they described it. It wasn't just for black women, because when we read it, we said, wait, the way they described it, a transgender or a person who don't identify as a man of whatever sexuality can identify and get this money too. That's the one in Atlanta. They also started one in Chicago. That one is for black people to try and get this money, but I don't know how much they're going to have to get. Now they have this one going on in San Francisco for transgenders.
Of course, it would be in San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all by that.
Home of the Paul Pelosi's.
Oh, we're going to get to Paul Pelosi. Mayor London Breed announced the launch of a new guaranteed income program for San Francisco's trans community. The Guaranteed Income for Trans People program will provide low-income transgender San Franciscans with $1,200 each month. $1,200, ain't that the same amount of money people got for the COVID, the checks?
I'm still waiting on another one.
You're supposed to get another one, but Biden them said we gave you $600 and we gave you this. That's it.
Yeah.
So
he gypped us.
He said, oh, that's an old school word. You gypping people. Up for 18 months to help address financial insecurities within trans communities. Breed revealed Wednesday. Don't San Francisco got a homeless problem?
Yeah.
All of California got a really, really, really bad homeless problem.
Seattle, Washington has it. Washington State.
I'm talking about California in particular, because this is in San Francisco. So it's like, shouldn't you take any dollar you can find and put it towards the homeless issue? I mean, I'm not saying that none of the trans people are homeless. It's just there's a broader group. You can include them too into the homeless situation. But anyway, the pilot program is the first guaranteed income initiative to focus solely on trans people and will provide regular, unconditional, which means there's no string, nothing to stop you from getting it. Cash transfers to individuals or households who qualify according to the mayor's office. This differs from the other social safety net practices by providing a steady, predictable stream of cash to recipients to spend as they see fit without limitations.
Wow.
They really are, they're putting the cheese on the mousetrap right now. They've been doing it since the COVID started. They're getting people used to get money from this. I'm gonna give you some money.
They're getting everybody used to being on welfare.
Yeah, they get, because the people
government assistance.
The people who would never want to be on welfare systems now they're getting used to being on them. The gas is too high. The inflation is too high. It's like, we need some help. Okay, here you go. It's $1,200. You need some more. Oh, there's restrictions on some of them. So now the government's controlling your life, so you can get this money, just like they do with the people on welfare.
Yeah, you can't have no man living in this house. You got to go to school.
Yeah,
to get this check.
All type of stuff they have on there. So they're just preparing us for.
I think that was Republicans that did that though.
Yeah, they wanted you to be hard and let's make it hard on them. Now let me show you this.
What's wrong with the audio? You don't hear that? Is it me?
I don't hear nothing. Y'all let us know if y'all hear some bad audio or something.
Okay, go. Maybe it's me.
Hold on. You hear anything?
Let me take it out.
Yeah, Dennis Spurn, yeah. Travis, you beat me to it. Q is Dennis in the next Ben Crump. You think you're gonna try to be an ambulance chaser soon?
Yeah, I think that's what I think he gonna be the next. Dennis gonna be the next Ben Crump. he won't be saying peoples though.
Yep, Duke. Everyone is lacking in the common sense department. I had to remind myself often. That's questionable. Don't be too trusting. Exactly. The trans in the community been around forever. This push agenda may be tied to transhumanism. There was a story that Biden, I think we talked about it. Biden passed a what do you call it? He signed something where transhuman, they would put money into transhumanism. What do you call it? Biological. What was the name of that? The White House released a press briefing of him signing something that had to do with biomechanical.
Yeah,
something.
biomechanical something. I remember.
And people were like, this is transhumanism. I can't remember it, but yeah. I remember. I read a book. What's his name? It was a pimp. There was a pimp who wrote a book. I forgot his name. Very popular. Iceberg Slim. He wrote a book I read, and I think he was in the 20s or something. he didn't write it in the 20s, but the story that he told in the book happened in like the 20s or the 30s, where he talked about there was a person who would come into the clubs and would get dudes to come home with them, and then the dude ended up getting beat up. And it turns out this dude was a tranny. So there was transgenders, and we know there was transgenders all the way back to, and typically like all the way back. we could find transgenders all the way back during the damn Egyptians, the Middle Ages.
They was doing the plays.
Yeah.
They was staying in for the women.
You know, Babylon, all those places already had transgenders, but he told a story of in the 20s, this was happening. And this dude actually had surgery and everything in the 20s. That's how you realize nothing is new under the sun. Nothing is new under the sun.
You know what? Somebody had spoke for me the other day in the comment section, George. I know you're going to see this video later. You had all that smoke, but didn't show up today.
Let's listen to this, Maria. What this person has to say.
This is what I mean when the transphobia just comes out. The audacity and just the arrogance for cis women to believe that they own periods, that they own womanhood. You don't. Okay, you don't own periods. You don't own womanhood. You experience both, and both are different for every person. But as a cis woman, it doesn't belong to you, so you can't gatekeep it. Like, hello?
This motherfucker is crazy out his damn mind.
You know, and I say, you know how they always say how they slow burn everything. The idea of somebody being transgender, and the fact that I'm using that word instead of the obvious word they used back in the day, which is tranny. They've already got you used to them existing.
I'm gonna be vulgar.
They've gotten you used to them existing. So now when they say stuff like this, we say this is crazy, but literally we know in 5 to 10 years, somebody saying this is gonna be considered normal.
Please don't be mad at me what I'm about to say. Please don't be mad and don't think I'm
the way this dude is talking is gonna be considered normal, and they already are telling you that you can identify whatever you want to identify, all this other stuff.
Black women are
Hold on. Let me show the next video first.
Black women are gatekeeping periods. What? How do a man have a period? I guess he have a period where he have something going in and out of his asshole.
Oh, Travis, come on, man.
That's his version of a period.
Come on, man. Slow down. Come on, man.
Yeah, I said it. This stuff has to be checked. When they say it's a mental illness, it's a fucking mental illness.
It was a mental illness.
There's no fucking doubt about it.
They took it out of the book.
Sorry I'm doing so much cursing right now, but for him to say black women are gatekeeping.
He didn't say black women. He said women.
He a black man.
We don't know if he black.
The guy that was just talking?
We don't know.
Oh, you trying to say he is a black immigrant? What are you trying to say?
No. We don't know what his race is.
Oh, now you don't want to claim him. Now you don't want to claim him. He ain't
know.
black.
Okay,
any other person? No, any other person I say, no, I don't know if they're black. They black.
Go ahead with your point. Go ahead. You were saying you trying to take it away from women or black women.
He's literally trying to say y'all, which is what that British white woman was saying when we were watching that TV show. Y'all trying to take the word woman and turn it into something else that it's not.
I remember I saw somebody say, this is a white woman that said this. She said, well, if we're not going to allow transgender women to be called women, why do we allow black women to be called women?
Wow.
I'm sorry, this wasn't a woman. This was a quote unquote transgender white woman that said this. They consider black women men. This is what you can type this into any social media platform. You'll see them saying this, that if we're not considered women, black women can't be considered women. Now they'll say they're saying this because, well, there was a time when black women weren't considered women. They were not feminine enough. They were considered too masculine. It's like, no, you just called them men. Back during the racial science they was doing back in the 1800s, early 1900s, they try to say, oh, we're saying it that way. No. You're calling black women men and saying that if a transgender person can't be considered a woman, then black women can't be women. This is how crazy this shit is.
They like being around them. So
now look at this shit right here.
Doing their makeup and everything.
Look at this. This is a Caucasian man. I'm sorry, woman.
Is that a black blow up doll?
Yes. Listen, Travis. A Caucasian woman that wants to be a man that's pregnant. It says black baby on board, Black Lives Matter, proud race traitor.
Is that a black blow-up doll male?
Yes, Travis.
Wow, they got black male blow-up dolls out here.
So what is going on here? So this is a... But it's so crazy. This is normal now. Imagine what we're going to be
in 10 years.
In 10 years. Imagine, this is just the tip of the iceberg, how far this about to go. We're about to be in the gut. We're already in the gutter. We're going to be in hell.
We already in hell.
You already in hell.
It just ain't got as hot as it.
Ain't just hot yet.
It's hot, but it ain't to the point where.
Look at this shit.
I will always love you.
Brazilian deaf mute trans woman sings Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You."
Well, it's not. No. Well, it wasn't Whitney's song first. It's actually Dolly Parton's song. So, a Brazilian deaf mute trans woman sings Dolly Parton's "I Will Always Love You."
The second Whitney got on that song, it was hers.
True. But the original song is Dolly Parton.
The point of the matter is, this is how they're actually letting this person get on stage and quote unquote sing. This time we got these people allowing these, what they call them? The dudes who dress up like women.
Trannies?
No, what do they call it?
Drag queens.
Drag queens. When they let these drag queens go in these schools and read to children. Why do you want to read to a child dressed up as a woman?
Hoping it'll have some influence on the little boys. That's why.
And what the patriarchy is, right? They created the patriarchy, to put men in boxes and to put women in boxes. But the patriarchy is inherently misogynistic because women get treated like shit historically, right? And it's inherently transphobic. So the reason why period is so synonymous with bleeding is because they wanted to exclude trans people and non-binary people. Cis women are not the only ones that experience periods.
So what is your version of a period,
Travis,
sir?
Slow down. What he just said was a bunch of garbage.
I'm just waiting on him to tell us what is the period he experiences.
At the end of the day, whether it's hormones, whether it's your body producing hormones, whether you're a cis woman and have to take hormones, that hormonal period is valid. Not everybody bleeds. And I don't understand why wouldn't you want to be inclusive? Why are you trying to gatekeep? And it's because most cis women feel like their reproduction is the only thing they can offer. They're a female. That's all they have. And that's kind of sad that you boil yourself down to your fucking body parts. Hello? We get our hormonal cycle once a month. If we want to call it a fucking period, we're going to do that. You're just a pick-me, trying to collect your bag, act a fool, but it's going to be expanded just like a lot of things in a society. And if you don't like it, you can go over there with the Republicans.
This is now keep in mind what they're doing. They're making all these things democratic. This is why people...
But who vote for them?
This is why a lot of people are starting to say, I'm not voting for that party.
Who continues to support the Democratic Party?
This is a man who's telling women what a woman is.
Do y'all know how upset I was about the red wave? And it's nothing to do with Republicans. People,
it's about you voting for the damn Democrats. Why are you voting?
Why are you voting for the Democrats? Why are you voting, period, for some things?
Yeah.
But every city that these damn Democrats are in and ran by are trash. Full of homeless people, full of crime, poverty. Yeah. Facts is facts.
Bill Collins said, expensive setup just to attack her. The one beating her is a nurse.
Rosie, what was the question mark?
Huh?
Rosie had a question mark. What's the question mark?
We talking about the training? Dude saying that a woman ain't the only one who experiences a menstrual. So Bill Collins saying, expensive setup just to attack her. The one beating her is a nurse, I think, meant to kill her. I don't know. Yeah, we already in hell. We already in hell. Just ain't as hot as you guys stay. Please open the insane asylum. Hey, You know what? It is open. They
It's
let
open. They
everybody
let
out
them
into the
out.
damn streets.
They're out on the damn streets.
You see these Black Lives Matter protests and stuff. They go to these protests and do dances and stuff.
They opened the insane asylum when in the 80s when they decided to take LGBTQ out of the mentally insane
book,
category, book category. That's when the same asylum
You
was
put
open
those people on the streets
to the
now.
public.
Those people are on the streets now, and they running for office
And they winning too.
and winning.
Who's voting for them?
You know why? Because the rest, we sit here and say that they're crazy and insane, but the fact that people are voting for them and listening to them, who's more insane?
And that black man that's talking about he has a period every month is the same black man that'll whoop a black woman's ass too.
Yeah,
No problems putting their hands on her.
yeah, it's crazy. Now this next story I want to show, I don't really like
Y'all
showing.
need to keep them away from you. But
Yeah,
they do good hair and makeup.
do they? Could they have you around looking like them?
Bozo the fucking clown. That's what they look like.
Now this next story, the main story we're gonna talk about is very, very, very sad, but the reaction to the story may be even worse. I didn't show you this one. I didn't even tell you about this one. Let me show y'all this. And you see this right here. It says, young mother, 27, who was behind on her rent and bills as she struggled with cost of living, took her 3-year-old daughter by the hand and walked in front of a train in Quasier. So she committed suicide on herself, and she killed her daughter along with it, right? Very sad story. And these things are happening a lot more the last couple of decades, really. This is happening a lot more. A lot of people are killing their children.
You wanna know why?
Go ahead.
Because that antimatter has been released.
Yeah. CERN.
Y'all can say Travis conspiracy crazy. No, that black matter is real. People out here doing some weird shit. I'm out there at 3:30 in the morning
And you see some weird,
with a candy bar on me.
A candy bar. See, now don't use that man word and then call him liar and stuff.
I got a damn candy bar on me.
That's a knife, y'all.
It's crazy out here in these streets.
Yeah, it's dangerous. I mean, considering how many homeless people are around here. Yeah. And look at the
Luckily, I got the when it comes to them, I got the protect the what they say.
What?
The color, the protection for the
complexion for the protection.
I'm black, so they're a little afraid to run up.
Now I'm gonna show y'all the reaction to this story. No telling how many family and friends she called for help before making this decision, and a handful of them probably said no. Who the fuck would want to leave their child with them? Everybody's so quick to say she could have given her child to someone when y'all missing the point. She's defending a woman killing a child.
There's no defending the action that we did, and a lot of people say, y'all, you don't know her situation, you don't know what she was going through.
Look at this.
Sometimes you got to be put through trials and tribulations.
Look at the stuff they're saying. A dude said innocent baby gone because 2 people brought another baby into the world who was not financially stable and knew they were not.
That's true.
Then he said, I disagree with the financially unstable part. Are you witnessing what's happening in our economy? She could have thought she was stable and the child's father had walked away. She could have lost her job during COVID and never bounced back. Her apartment could have gone up by $700. That sounds very that last part sounds very specific. But the stuff you see in here, the defense of this woman killing her child, how they're finding a way to give sympathy to her. And if you bring up the fact that it's a child, they say, well, the child is better off dead. And I say, well, how is this not directly related to the Roe v. Wade situation?
Because anytime you no longer want,
you just
kill it. Like no age, no limit.
They tell you that a child, a fetus is a child, is a human. The second is viable outside of the mother's womb. Then you go, wait, so at 1 month old, you telling me the child is viable without the mother? I mean, she leave that baby for a couple hours, could die. So it still needs the mother. It still needs them. So how is that any different from 7 months in the womb, 6 months in the womb?
You know, these conversations is beating a damn horse.
It is. You're right. Now I want to show one particular. Wait. She said she didn't want her child to suffer in this world. She did what she thought was best. Do I even got to say anything?
No.
What I'm saying about this is you got to be careful who you have children with. We've seen stories of dudes who have a children with a woman, have a child with a woman. They get into an argument and she decide, I'm not going to let you see your baby. Well, it goes further than that. We've seen, women kill a child.
And we've seen the opposite. We've seen men kill the child and the woman too.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about as far as you said, be careful who you have kids with. There literally was a story a couple months ago about a guy who killed his daughter because the woman didn't want to be in a relationship with him, so he killed the daughter. Men are out here doing it too.
You have to be very, once again, discernment. Choose wisely. You have to choose wisely.
Actually, I was shocked. You remember when I was telling you all the stories of the men that have been doing it in the past month or two?
Yeah.
I was shocked at how many stories are coming out about that too.
Yeah.
Why? We in the last days.
Now look at this one. Okay, but she killed my niece. Poor baby girl thought she was going to be going to her father's house. If the mom was still alive today, she would be doing a murder charge. Yeah, her MH is F, but to kill my niece.
Wait a minute. So the father is alive. The father is stable. The father does have a place.
This is according to her. Look at this.
So why not give the child to the father?
Why wasn't her father, your brother, I presume, wasn't able to help her? Everyone wants to blame the mother. She's the one who killed.
Yeah, she's the one who killed her.
She's the one who killed the baby. Wants to blame the mother who holds the burden, but not the people who could have helped her. There's a real sad part as a child who lost her life because of the lack of help from her village. So it's not decisions. It's her daughter. Do you see this? Being a parent doesn't automatically give you the right to kill your children. That shouldn't even need to be said. The fact that this person said this is crazy. Hey, man. Be careful. Friends and lovers, you have to be very careful because you can have very tragic situations occur in your life because of
I knew
your
we were
decision.
going to talk about Dave Chappelle. Every time Dave Chappelle have something now, you got to talk about his ass.
Somebody please get this person. Let me. Hold on. Oh, shit. Okay. They gone?
Yeah, I guess they got out.
No, I think somebody got them out of there for me. If they did.
Get them out, Regina.
Huh?
She's a bot. They can get people out.
Right, dude. Travis, calm down. Well, put them back. What's going on with the family? How y'all doing? What up, Brandon? Yeah, tell Travis about to go out. Like, come on, man. Chill out. All right. Not crazy to think Jews control Hollywood. Dave Chappelle criticized for SNL opening on anti-Semitism. Travis get tired of talking about this. He gets.
Because this is a storyline too. They let him come out and say this.
They let him?
Yes, they let him.
What do you mean by that?
His owners let him come out and say this.
Who is his owners?
The Jewish people that run Hollywood. Those are their slaves.
So they let him say it?
Yes, they let him say it. There's no way he coming out on that stage and saying that if they didn't give them the okay.
So they let him say it and then condemned him?
Wow, dude. You act like they don't operate like that.
I mean, I want you to explain it.
So they let him come out and say it and then have fake outrage after he said it. That don't happen.
Yeah, it happens.
Okay then. So why
I'm
need to
asking you to
elaborate?
explain. I'm asking you to go further.
I don't need to go no further. They get what I'm trying to say. What happened to Code Talk?
Oh, yeah. Chappelle leans into Kanye West's anti-Semitism controversy, saying Black Americans aren't to blame for Jewish suffering, declares there are two words in the English language that you should never say together in a sequence, the and Jews. All right.
Fake outrage.
Now, I want to show you this too very quick. Netanyahu's Israel is about to slam the door on the diaspora.
Who the diaspora?
The relationship between Netanyahu and liberal American Jewry has often been tense, but he never sought to sever ties. His coalition partners have other ideas, though he may be powerless to stop it. So they're saying that this is Haaretz. This is a Jewish owned company, publication. They're saying that they're about to separate from the American Jews.
Well, we being separated from them.
No, they're talking about the liberal white ones.
Oh.
They're saying their politics are bad for Israel. So they're going to completely sever ties with them. I said, how is that possible if they're supposed to be
Jewish?
How you going to just not?
So is America going to tear up them damn contracts?
Can't boycott.
You can't boycott
Israel?
Jewish people?
Of course they're not
Are
going to
those going to go away?
Hell no. ADO chief blessed Dave Chappelle monologue as normalizing anti-Semitism. He said anti-Semitism is now being mainstream. I thought it was mainstream when
it's
Hitler
always been mainstream.
I thought Hitler did it was mainstream.
As fair can.
Jonathan Greenblatt says comedian SNL bit on Jews in Hollywood diminishes, popularizes Jew hatred, but most Jewish leaders refrain from weighing in on the controversy. So once again, Dave Chappelle comes in and talks about something. It gets a little bit more light to it.
Just like he did with the trannies.
He didn't really say anything in his monologue that was
too offensive
at all. All he said was, they do run it. It was literally started by them. There's a lot of them there. Most of the execs and stuff are that. It's like,
oh, we ain't gonna talk about the
what happened to Weinstein?
Talent agencies and
the talent agencies and
business managers.
What happened to Weinstein?
He's on an island somewhere.
Yeah, what happened with that? I think he's still in prison, ain't he?
No, didn't he get out?
I don't remember.
COVID.
He did get out because of COVID because
it was packed.
Somebody else tried to get out because of that. They said no. Bill Cosby tried to get out because of COVID. They said no. So they let him out, but they told Bill no.
They were like, Bill, you are 80-something, 90-something years old. I mean,
they knew they were gonna let him out anyway. Dave Chappelle received heat from some, understanding from others following controversial SNL monologue on anti-Semitism. So was this used to take the attention off Kanye?
Yee.
You're right. Let's call him by the name that he chose. Yee. This seemed like it was used to take away some of the light from him.
He's still in the news though.
Not really.
Yeah, they do little hit pieces on him. You know, trying to say how, you know, I guess him and that witch is, you know, proceeding with the divorce and how bad he's doing.
I thought they already divorced.
I thought they was already divorced too.
How the hell are they still proceeding? It's already over, ain't it?
Still going through divorce. You know, he can't get over her.
Wait. Are they going to try to take some of his assets?
Who, Kim?
Because we know he's talking about his children.
His black children.
Yeah, he calling them black kids.
He keeps telling black people that his children are black. And we go, your kids are biracial, man.
Now, this right here, this goes back to your point. SNL ratings hit season high with Dave Chappelle amid uproar. So they got they got the biggest ratings because of this episode. So they accuse somebody of something, then use the accusation to build up an audience so that they can make money off of the controversy.
That's what they do. This ain't nothing new.
So we'll accuse you of something, make it controversial, then we'll actually profit from it being a controversy.
Yeah, normal day.
I'm going to read this. This is the only one I'm going to read of this because the Dave Chappelle thing is pretty obvious, but I want to read this one. I critique Dave Chappelle and his fans question my blackness. Eric Deggins. He said, it may have been a gif of a chattering raccoon or a crop photo of me standing with a student and teacher after speaking at a high school claiming I had professed my love for the ugliest white woman I could find. Or the message insisting I had to keep my white wife happy, though my marriage ended in 2015. These messages delivered to my virtual doorstep via Twitter after I dared to write a column criticizing comic Dave Chappelle, what do we know? Were part of a punishing deluge of responses on social media aimed at attacking me as a black man. According to these diatribes, I was a traitor to my race, a biscuit-eating sellout.
Honey or butter, or both.
Huh?
Did he want honey or butter? Because we know you didn't. We know you don't do molasses.
A coonish Uncle Tom Sambo who allowed his Jewish paymaster to dictate his writings, all for having the gall to say I was disappointed in Chappelle's latest performance. Of course, it's difficult to tell which of these accounts might have been bots or malicious hackers more interested in sowing division and hate than any logical argument. But some of the arguments raised in these spaces nevertheless echo justifications and defenses I've seen delivered by actual people, inadvertently embodying my concern about Chappelle's original comments, encouraging those who believe terrible stereotypes about Jewish people. And as always, I was discouraging that we seem to be having the same discussions about stereotyping and fairness, which once seen resolved years ago. Reignited by a performer who oblique and provocative comedy torches nerves without really offering any resolution. So he went on and read an article about Dave Chappelle and black people were questioning his blackness, calling him a coon, putting biscuits and raccoons in his mentions. Are you a defender of Dave Chappelle?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a defender of Dave Chappelle.
You don't give a fuck about Dave Chappelle?
I'm gonna be honest. He didn't say anything bad. What did he say? He told the truth. They do run Hollywood.
I don't mean defender of him for this. I mean in general.
Like?
In general. When something controversial happened with him, you immediately run to his defense.
No.
And I'm wondering how many black people do you know that do that?
Run to each other's defense?
Of Dave Chappelle's defense. During the trans thing, it wasn't just black people. It was what they call Republicans or right-leaning people or people who just disagree with certain things. I don't remember Dave Chappelle ever having this black-only audience attacking him, protecting him.
He don't.
His audience, I won't say his audience mainly white, but he has a very broad audience. So it's strange that he immediately made his article and made it about the black people.
I'm sure there was other races of people that went after him too.
Exactly. So okay.
They call you a coon too.
They definitely called Thomas, what's his name, the Supreme Court Justice?
Clarence
Thomas.
Yeah.
They literally had coon trending.
Yeah.
Even black people was like, hold on.
Yeah, they call you coon now.
They were like, hold on, why y'all so comfortable calling this man a coon?
Yeah, they'll call out the fact that, if you dating another race of person too, an
Asian woman.
They use all black people talking points.
It's crazy when you got an Asian person critiquing the dating of a black person.
Yeah.
Like,
sometimes we don't even have to say anything. They just do it for us.
Like, what's going on? Now look at this. The NBA can't move on until Kyrie Irving repents. Damn.
That boy better repent for talking about them Jews.
They ain't asking for an apology. They use the word repent.
Well, they're religious people of the Bible, so they would use the word repent.
You repent to one person.
Well, they're telling him to repent to the Most High for what they said about his precious jewels.
His jewelry.
Exactly.
Bullshit. When I saw the word repent.
Because if you're good to his people, then good things will come to you.
Shit. America been in a dump. And I want to show you this joke by Denzel. Man, I'm going to show this right here.
Really? Jews run Hollywood is the best you can do at the top of your craft?
I love that you said that, because the joke was, you get a group of black people, it's a gang.
It was a funny joke.
It's a group of Italians, it's a mob. You get a group of Jewish people, and it's
a conspiracy and we can't talk about it.
It's a coincidence, and we shouldn't talk about it.
Now, you see how the Jewish dude tried to make it seem like he said it's a conspiracy. He never used that word. He said it's a coincidence, and we can't talk about it. That's what he said.
Right? So the implication when people say, oh, that's an anti-Semitic joke, is that, yeah, also groups of black people are gangs and groups of Italians are the mob. All three of those things are examples of stereotypes that people barter on that aren't true. But the only part that people found to be offensive was the part where referring to the Jewish community. That, to me, is the genius, is to make you jump up and say, I object to that joke.
It's a good joke.
And I object to that joke because of that line, that punchline right there. But I don't object to the setup.
Yeah,
What's the lion
it's
stat,
a good
Mike?
joke. It's a good joke. Nazis didn't march in Charlottesville and threaten violence against
I asked
Italian
for
people.
lions, not Nazis.
You know what I mean? Like that. The objection that people have is like right now at this moment is a very dangerous time. There are active threats against synagogues across America.
Absolutely.
There
Absolutely.
are no active threats against groups of Italian people.
Are
right
there
now.
any active threats against groups of black people? Because I kind of feel like 400 plus years of that has been happening.
Okay, I got to say this right quick. If I'm not mistaken, this dude is East African.
Well, you know what they do.
So him saying 400 years is like
you're not a part of 400 years, sir.
But let him get it off.
And I think that's a lot of again the kernel of where a lot of this stand up is coming from for Chappelle. It's like even when you talk about his jokes about around the trans community, it's the idea that in this country, people will be up in arms about all sorts of worthy causes about prejudices other than black people. Like, well, black people, you kind of, well, that's just the way it is.
But this
look, there are threats on synagogues. Absolutely. There's also a threat every time there's a cop behind me, Mike.
You know, I'm tired of these black.
Hold on. Before you go left.
How I'm gonna go left?
And start talking shit about the dude. Let's first acknowledge his point he made. Very good point.
I can't acknowledge the point.
Hold on. He said, you might forget the point. Fuck it, go ahead.
He's an East African man talking about 400 years and how every time there's a police officer behind him, he fears for his life. That's bullshit.
Okay, you got it off? Now, what about the point he made?
The point he made was spot on.
Well, why not just acknowledge the point?
Because I have to check that part. There's a lot of things that stuff gets said that it don't get checked on platforms.
I see what the Black American. Is he Black American?
Yes, Denzel Washington is Black American.
Sure? I could have sworn I heard. Niggas don't want to give up Denzel.
We ain't giving up Denzel.
To Soldier's Play. And he said, "You're good."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and wow. I got a part in a movie in 1986. I called it The Nigga They Couldn't Kill.
Oh.
Yeah, he was supposed to be, he raped a white woman and they tried to electrocute him, but it didn't work. And he became sort of a cult hero. No, not that one. That was the other awful one. But
So he would have been, his powers would have been electricity again?
I don't know. But they're laughing.
Yeah, like it's
But
funny.
he wasn't joking. Watch this.
And then they tried to hang him, and they tried to do all this stuff, and I had a lot of training day in me. And there were some Jewish people in the audition, and I said, yeah. They said, no, it's funny. It's like they hang them and then they can't. I said, yeah, like you bring some Jewish people into a room and they think it's a shower, but it's gas. Oh. And they said, right. I said, right. That ain't funny. So to me, it wasn't funny about putting a rope around my MF neck.
And they go back to laughing. So when the
that
Jewish
shows you
people
how people been conditioned to see how black people are treated.
And this goes to the point about trauma, how they sell trauma to us. They laugh at our trauma. It's entertainment to them. Like, it's like when something is so real, you laugh about it so that you can get rid of the tension in the room. So when he talks about the hanging and they try to electrocute him, false accusation by a white woman, the room laughs to try and deflate the tension. And when he bring up those gas chambers, they let it sit right there, because that's a serious topic. There's fear in laughing at that. Why is there no fear in laughing at the trauma that you go through? Because that's a lack of respect. They don't respect you at all.
Either. I made a point. The guy was like, who the hell is...
And maybe even a lack of fear. You don't have any power, so
exactly
you can't do anything to it. You can't make me lose my job. You can't stop me from moving in certain industries.
Well, if it gets enough attention, you can lose your job.
You can make some low-level white person lose their job, but you can't shut down no exec. You can't do. You have no power, really. Like
this little nigga talking like this.
But the fact that they was found it so hilarious.
They were
laughing hard as they could.
And you know who was laughing?
Oh yeah,
I heard the tones.
Yeah,
it was white women.
All right.
We saw Viola in the corner laughing too.
Oh, yeah, she definitely hunched over.
Yeah,
this version of
did.
Wag the Dog, Dave Chappelle SNL just keeps on rolling. Never waste a good crisis. They're gold in them their heels. Yikes. Black people, you are anti-black for oppressing me. Jewish people, you are anti-Semitic for calling me what I call myself, the king of Hollywood. Go figure. Exactly. If you imagine offending somebody by saying that they're powerful and have reach, that's offensive. Because they like to play in the shadows. They don't like to be in front of the camera. And when they are in front of the camera, they change their name so you don't know it's them.
Like Scarlett Johansson.
That's how they operate.
Knowing damn well her last name is Goldsberg, Weinstein,
right.
Silverson.
Always after that money.
Jittings.
Texas teacher who told black students his race is superior is no longer employed. Where we at right now when they've told us they're banning critical race theory? Now we got Caucasian teachers telling the black students that he think his race is superior. And then we're going to talk about, is that wrong? And not is he wrong about the belief, is he wrong for just thinking that about his people?
It's their society.
It's not about just that part. Shouldn't we teach our kids to feel the same?
We should.
Let me show it. He said, oh, hold on.
Centric, which means I think my race is the superior one.
Oh, I didn't say it.
Wait, no, let me finish. Let me finish.
Hey, look. So, white is better than all.
No, let me finish. Let me
Go
finish.
ahead. Hey.
I think everybody thinks that. They're just not honest about
Hey,
it.
I'm not racist, though. I like all types of kinds.
Did I say I don't like people?
People only think that.
Wait, so you said you are what? You are racist?
You're saying you're like,
I think everybody's a racist at that level.
No, you said you are racist.
I did. Yeah, I'm trying to be honest.
Yes, I'm racist.
No, I'm not.
They haven't given his name out, by the way. But he was put on leave.
Which is what they always get. They put him on leave. They never fired him. Probably on leave with pay.
The fact that he was on leave to start, that they had to do some investigating when the video is right there.
Now, the teacher said, yes, I believe my race is a superior race. And you have the black student in the back saying, I love all people. All people.
And that's what I'm going to get to. When you send your kids to these public schools, especially to the black people that feel so proud to be able to send their kids to a white school, know that you're sending them somewhere where their self-esteem is going to be beaten on every single day. Not even just because they're in a school full of these white kids. In the books, the history, they learn about white people. All the achievements, they learn about white people. So what do you think happens when now the entire classroom is white and they're seen as the black sheep? Any failure they have is going to be like, oh, of course it is. Of course he's going to be the failure in the classroom. He's the one black kid or the one black boy or girl.
Now, is the teacher wrong for thinking the way he thinks?
I would say
no.
In this society, you shouldn't be talking like that to kids or to your students in general. But in a regular conversation, those little black boys and I don't know if it's a little girl in there, but those little black kids should have been like, yeah, we think we better too. Let's move forward. That would
have been my response. Oh, you think you the superior race? I feel the same way.
But these are kids. So I'm not expecting them.
Nah, they kids.
They're not kids?
Yeah, they kids, but they look like they're about 14, 15 years old.
That's not a kid?
That's a kid, dude. But what I'm saying is they have, if the teacher is speaking that willingly and openly, expressing how he feel, then damn it, they can go in and say, I'm the superior race too.
The school superintendent described the discussion as inappropriate, inaccurate, and unacceptable, and said this type of interaction will not be tolerated in any of the district schools.
It's being tolerated every day.
It was tolerated when you didn't fire his ass, you put him on leave. The middle school teacher in Texas is no longer employed after the video post on social media showed him telling students his race was superior. Deep down in my heart, I'm ethnocentric, which means I think my race is a superior one. The teacher was recorded telling students on various races last week inside the classroom. The 6th through 8th grade school, about 18 miles north of Austin. I think everybody thinks that. The teacher says they're just not honest about it. True. Let me tell you something. When it comes to black people in particular, we don't think nobody is relevant except us. Let's be real. Let's really tell the truth. We're really, in our minds, just like everybody else, we really the only ones that's relevant. Is that not true? Do we not believe that we are the salt of the damn earth?
Oh, we the main character?
It's not about just the main character. It's just we bring the season to everything. Without us, this shit gonna fall apart. That's normal. When you look at the achievements of your people, you're gonna justify the importance of your people. So him getting in there saying the stuff he's saying, now we could look at history and say that most of the stuff they've been attributed for contributing to the world is not true. But the point is, it's written in the books. It's the history. How they said to the victor chooses the writes the history.
That's why it's his story.
Exactly. That's his story of what happened.
History.
So I'm not gonna say, obviously I wouldn't want a teacher who's supposed to be in school teaching my kids stuff to be saying that type of stuff, but in reality, it is what it is.
I wanna know how you feel.
I said I wouldn't want a teacher that think like that in the school anyway. Just teach my damn kid what he's supposed to know and got to go about your business. What you think, keep that private.
The man said he could prove it.
Shit, okay. He said the remarkable paradigm directed towards 2 black students. Some students challenge the teacher. One student says, "I'm not racist though. I like all types of kinds." The teacher responds, "Did I say I don't like people?" Huh?
He said he like all types of kinds. We know you do. Black people like all types of kinds.
Then that's probably through the teachings of his parents. To respect everybody because they respect you. And you've been respecting their ass and they still ain't respecting.
Exactly.
All that respecting. I already showed a video. Damn. Okay. Yeah, black student describes anger he felt when his white teacher told class that his race was the superior one. Hey, I want to show the. Okay, he said it started off because I asked him about going to the restroom. He told me no because he was racist. And then I asked him, "What do you mean by that?" That's when it started, and he started talking about it.
Did the spirit get on him?
It seemed like I thought he was drunk. Did you not see that on? I thought he was drunk.
Oh,
when I watched the video, it seemed like he was drunk.
He threw back a couple.
He threw a couple back in the back of the class and
said, "Fuck it, I'm telling the tip today."
He in that tipsy as hell.
He got brave.
What?
He got brave.
Yo, yeah, that liquid courage.
He better be glad he didn't get jumped by those kids.
Wow, you being racist.
How am I being racist?
The black kids automatically violent.
That's not what I was going to.
Wow, the black kids are violent and they thugs and they'll jump you.
If you say they violent and they thugs, they violent and thugs, dude.
Okay. Oh, I'm saying
right.
Now. Homeschooling, you won't have to deal with your kids being indoctrinated with that mess. Exactly. Not only are we about them having drag queens reading to your students, your children.
You got to worry about teachers.
Yeah, about teachers saying that it's superior.
You didn't have your kid come home.
You got to worry about the students shoot the school up. Like if you're a black parent with black kids, like
they don't want
homeschooling seem like a damn saving.
They want to load their kids up with vaccination shots.
So many parents juice their kids
go to
up.
School.
So many parents juice their kids up so they can just get out the house.
They got 5-year-olds vaccinated so they can go to school.
5-year-olds, damn.
Like, you getting your ass out of here this year.
The teacher is definitely wrong for thinking that about his people. Have you met an average white man or dude? The audacity to call ourselves superior when you cannot back it up. Well, I will allow him to feel that way about his people. We can all just say he don't know what he talking about, but it is what it is. Sorry I'm late. What up, fam? What up, Smiley? He's entitled to his opinion, but he should have stuck to the lesson plan. That's what I was saying. He can have his opinion. You don't need to tell my kids that while he at school. You can tell me that. How about when we had that parent-teacher conference? Tell me that. Tell me that when we had that parent-teacher conference.
What you gonna do?
Oh, I ain't gonna put hands on you. See, I'm not violent.
Everybody knows you violent.
I'm not a thug. That's
violent.
Not me. I'm violent now?
Yeah, you violent.
Okay. Manhattan District Attorney vacates 188 cases tied to convicted cops. The Manhattan District Attorney Office will throw almost 200 misdemeanor convictions with ties to 8 NYPD officers found guilty of crimes linked to their work. District Attorney Alvin Bragg announced that his office would vacate 188 convictions on the grounds of due process violations following investigation to the newly created Post-Conviction Justice Unit.
They just like the LAPD, just like the Chicago.
It's all gangs. They're gangs. New York must know that everyone is acting with the utmost integrity in the pursuit of equal justice under the law, Bragg said in a statement released on Thursday. Without that belief, our criminal justice system will never be able to deliver real and lasting safety that every community deserves. Don't need to read much of that. They're going to went on to say from 2001 to 2016, these officers were basically putting false charges on people, getting them convicted.
We shocked.
Not surprised at all. We know what's going on. The cameras didn't change shit. It was supposed to make things better.
They just tell you.
Now we just see it on camera and they still say nothing happened.
Nothing happened here.
We sit on camera now and they still say nothing happened. So it is what it is. You just got to do whatever you got to do whatever you can.
I fear for my life.
You got to do whatever you can to just not be around these people. If you have you have to literally do everything that a cop come around. Just get the hell away from them.
It's called discernment and putting yourself in situations that you know that you're not gonna have to encounter them.
You get pulled over, do
just
exactly what he said. Even if he's been an asshole,
no,
he's looking for a reason.
They try to be like these white people that go on YouTube.
I don't answer questions.
I'm not being detained.
Am I being detained?
I don't answer questions.
Now your ass getting pulled out of your car and shot.
I don't have to roll down my window.
Yeah.
You don't want to roll it down?
And they pulling you out,
yank your ass out of there,
tasing you, beating you to death.
And
that's literally a video of I forgot his last name was Green. I forgot his name. Black man was in his car. They bust the window, pulled him out, and beat him to death.
Exactly. When they pull your ass over, have your license, registration in your hand, hold it out the window so they see it.
And that don't always work. We know. There deal with some cops sometimes who just on that type of time. It is what it is, but you got to do everything in your power to just get away from them.
We now know that the police officers don't de-escalate the situation, so the civilians have to
do it.
De-escalate the situation.
You got to do whatever you got to do to get home to your family, man. And I want to show this right here. The Milwaukee Police Department molested 74 black men. Those are just the ones that came forward. No other race, ethnicity of man came forward. Listen to them describe the details. Let me show you.
He pulled out my pants, touched my testicles. They like eased down and they put their hands right between my butt. He pulled my drawers down and dug in my rectum.
The alleged victims keep coming forward. 8 Milwaukee police officers are under internal investigation, accused of performing illegal strip searches, including cavity searches on the streets. Were they wearing any gloves?
No, I didn't see not one. There was no gloves.
Kevin Freeman Jr. claims back in December he and some friends were violated during a traffic stop.
When they searched me, they like eased down and they put their hands right between my butt. And then I try to reach back and when I try to reach back and try to stop them, they just got to slamming me.
Now you got to worry about them trying to stick their finger up your ass.
You mean now? They've been
I'm
doing
just talking about.
I know, but cops, bruh.
So this is where I can't say this on YouTube.
This is
because they're gonna say you threatening to harm police officers. So I won't say it.
This is where these cops' homoerotic tendencies come out. What man wants to search another man's scrotum? Like, what are you doing? We're in the street. This is not me trying to enter a building. It's not a place you could do a cavity search, a strip search. You're supposed to do a pat down. That's it.
That's it. And then you know that it's a sexual thing because they not even putting on no gloves.
That's the crazy part.
They got shit all over.
No. The crazy part is them putting their hands on these dudes' private parts, but then they're not even using gloves. They just going raw with it.
They be smelling their fingers later.
That's not funny. But it's crazy. Now you see right here, Baton Rouge PD molested 2 black boys in the traffic. One boy was just 16. Imagine being handcuffed so you can't move, and a cop pulls down your underwear and fondle you. To a child, the cop is still employed by the PD. I'm not going to show all the videos. Memphis police molested a black male. He said the officer used his badge specifically for illegal sexual gratification of his body. He details his experience. Now we ask the question, how many of these police officers are homosexual? Closeted. Because they got this high testosterone, overly aggressive. How many of them are closeted homosexual?
Well, they said that they did that manifesto they put out. They said they're going to be in all your
industries.
All your industries.
Going to your college. We're going to be in your dorm room.
So it's not just the white supremacists that are in the...
it's the white supremacists homosexual.
Well, they all...
Yeah, they got a little bit of that in all of them. 1.5 black men, 23 and under, alive right now in the U.S. have been arrested at least once. We are routinely sexually during pat frisk, and when behind closed doors are routinely strip searched, completely nude, and even sexually touched during these searches. Hell, prison. They been right over, coughed 2 times. Like, that's crazy. That's
why I gotta bend over and cough.
I don't know.
What does cough do? It spread. What does it do?
I don't know. Chief Christopher McCormick was so obsessed with young Black and Latino men's genitals that he actively molested them even after they was promoted to positions that required no street duty. So even after he got off of the streets, got a promotion, he couldn't stay away from that streets.
So it's Latinos now too?
Damn,
I'm not trying to bring down the mood, but it's them too?
In that one tweet, I guess.
Oh, okay.
After slavery ended, Black men were representing the family and Black wealth took off. After mass incarceration set in, white men for the first time were able to custody of our bodies again. Nothing will ever change until we reverse that, starting with saying pause on our bodies. So they went through and showed all the incidents. Even this is Kodak Black. See how the cop grabbing him up? At least he had gloves. Now imagine the mentality you got to have if you're on the street and a cop can just pull you over and grab you up like that. Remember that video of the Black woman who the cop was grabbing her and was grabbing her in her private area?
Yeah.
And it was like, what you doing? And even the other police officer like, chill out, what you doing? He had to stop him. Like, stop. Why are you grabbing her? What you doing? What's wrong with you? So these cops, they find any reason to touch you. So that's all those cases. I'm not going to read through all of them, but it happens a lot. Like, a lot. It seems like everybody who get pulled over,
being fondled.
You're getting fondled. You got to find a way to stay away from them. Yeah, the children would have been dope for countering. We are the salt of the earth, Mr. White Man. I think they're just doing this to emasculate Black men. They don't have to be gay to do it. That's true. They don't have to be. But I think any man who does that, even if it's to emasculate, there's some gay stuff in there. In either way. Roger said that was here in Kentucky. Oh yeah, I'm not surprised. I would expect it to be somewhere like Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama.
Those are white areas.
Those Oklahoma. I would expect it to be in those areas. But that goes back to the discussion. Should niggas move back south and just take it over? You got to deal with that. Once again, you need a private security force. You can't go based off of the police. They're not going to be right. Look at this. This is in Brooklyn. This was a Haitian immigrant. The police assault on Abner Louima and what it means. So this Haitian immigrant back in the 90s was literally, they took the stick and put it up his, and literally raped him. Remember, that happened in France as well, if you remember. Remember that story?
Mm-hmm.
It happened in France where the cops literally, he's on a colostomy bag now.
Wow.
It's crazy. Black man alleges he was stopped, detained, and raped by Memphis police in 2019. So a Black alleged a federal lawsuit that 2 members of the Memphis Police Department stopped him and conducted a body cavity search without probable cause. Memphis police, this is back in, obviously, 2019. But this story was released in 2020. The last week, Deandra Billingsley filed a lawsuit in the U.S. District Court, the Western District of Tennessee, that alleges 2 MPD officers stopped him at the intersection of Red Oak Street while he spoke to his son and a female acquaintance on August 5th, 2019. Both the young men were on the foot. The 2 officers were identified as John Doe 1, a white man, and John Doe 2, an Asian or Middle Eastern man, pulled up and demanded he put his hands on the hood of his patrol car. They also detained the boy, was speaking with. The complaint said the lawsuit, which was filed by Anderson Crump Apperson Crump. I thought that was
Ben Crump.
That's not Ben Crump.
I don't know.
It says Apperson Crump Law Firm identified a young man as DM. He did not consent to being searched and detained and told the officer as much. According to the suit, he was handcuffed and put his face down into the backseat of the patrol car. One officer, identified as Doe 1, allegedly pulled down his pants, reached into his underwear, and stuck 1 or 2 fingers up his anus. What is going, like, what? Now, is this the so-called war on drugs? Do you think this man is walking around with drugs up his ass?
Sound like the war on the black man's asshole.
That's what it seems like. Why are you so quick? Like, what's going on? In the middle of the street, in the back of a car.
Face down, ass up. That's what they pretty much did in the
damn,
car.
Joe, hold on.
That's pretty much what they did to that black man.
That's
in the
not
car.
funny, man. That's not funny, dog. But yeah. It's rough out there, man. And anything they can do to it's almost like in every industry, everywhere they go, they find a way to sexualize the black man. And the black woman, because that one story I'm talking about, she was standing in front of what I think was her boyfriend, but he was handcuffed, so he can't do nothing. And the cop doing that. It's like,
yeah.
Now, if I put hands on you, I'm going to jail. But what you're doing is violating.
Some things are worth going to jail for.
Exactly. Ain't no way in hell.
Okay, don't be calling me up saying I just got pulled over and I feel.
Look, if I go down, I'm going out with a bang. Cause ain't no way in hell.
Going out with a blaze of glory.
In a blaze of glory. All right.
You got a few shots in.
LA elects U.S. Representative Karen Bass as mayor, first black woman in post. So she won.
Did Wakanda forever help her out?
No, I don't think so. She defeated developer Rick Carso to become the next mayor of Los Angeles on Wednesday, making her the first black woman to hold a post in the city hall. Contends with an out-of-control homeless crisis, rising crime rates, and multiple scandals that have shaken trust in the government. With more than 70% of the vote tallied, Bass has amassed an insurmountable lead of nearly 47,000 votes. She had 53.1% of Caruso, notching 46.9%. Bass is working with a congressional office in Los Angeles when she was informed by an aide she won the race. Caruso's campaign said he was calling the mayor-elect to offer his congratulations. Now I want to show you some of the steps.
Let's see if the homeless crisis gets better.
Yeah, she said she's the mayor and she's going to fix the homeless problem. Let's show it.
First of all, first of all, I have spent my life building ties, building coalitions.
Keep in mind, she made sure to put black and Mexicans behind her.
Well, the primary focus she got behind her is Mexicans.
Working with Latino leaders in the Latino community for about the last 5 decades. So I think it's very important that I have an administration that reflects Los Angeles and that I stay in touch with the Latino community, very much so. And so that means on every level. It's not just 1 or 2 staffers, but it's on every level. It's jobs, it's appointments, it's in every way, shape, or form. And then it's also paying attention to the specific issues that impact Latinos.
Wow.
But I've never heard her say anything about issues that impact black people. See, this is what I be talking about. And her ass is on the fucking black caucus. She need to get out of there. Go to the fucking Latino caucus.
They love them Latinos.
I don't know what it is about them California Negroes and Latinos.
I don't know. Let me show this a little bit right here. I'm not gonna show this whole thing.
Specific about the money.
In particular, as a black woman, I speak about black people because that's the community that I come from. Like, yes, we're in a multicultural community, but I am a black woman. So when I see reports from institutions in Los Angeles, specifically the housing authority or the housing, groups saying that institutional racism is aiding in black people being disproportionately on the streets in Los Angeles.
She sees reports like the report from LASA that says that institutional racism is the reason for the disproportionate numbers of folks on the street.
Right.
No, black folks. You see how she changed it? Black folk on the street. Not folks.
So that report was published in 2019. This 3 years later, now we have new reports saying that our Latino community is, now represents what we used to represent, and so it just seems like the issues are getting worse, and we're not even addressing the racism that is burying black people in Los Angeles. Yes, sir.
So she is concerned that the language is not really addressing institutional racism
against black people.
Against black people. So
she had to make her. This is the congressional. She's part of the Congressional Black Caucus.
Black should always be on her mind.
The fact that it don't even roll off her tongue smooth. She was like, black people.
You're right. It didn't even roll off her tongue smooth.
She did not want to say it.
Every 5 word black.
Make your teeth white.
Like Tyreek, the what did they say? White supremacy. How they just roll off their fucking tongue? Yeah. Black should just roll off her tongue.
The sister and I had an opportunity to speak a little bit before this meeting, and what I told her is that, to me, one of the decisive factors in me deciding to not run for Congress again is the disproportionate way that our folks are represented.
She still won't say it.
She won't say it.
She said our folks. What?
Wow. They scared to say black.
I don't. It's crazy. This is crazy.
Wow.
Say the name.
Say the name. Throw the healing on the holy. Say the name.
You damn demons.
Latino.
Los Angeles.
Latino forever. No, what I just said. Viva la raza. The race.
Look who she got. You know, this is just like the black politicians do the same thing that the other politicians will do. When they having a press conference, they'll put other races behind them and then have their race around those people to make it seem like they in, full support of everybody.
Yeah.
That's what she doing.
Yeah. Is it all being revealed during this time? These near rape on black men stories by white cop officers do not sound human. Another species, perhaps. What they call it? It's their that's their nature. Eddie Murphy did a joke. The colon is the key of life.
Eddie Murphy can't do no jokes on no colon.
Eddie.
There's stories out there about Eddie riding around in cars.
And transhumanism.
With the colon. Trying to get some colon.
What the hell? You just be putting zingers on.
All alleged, of course. I don't put that on that brother. I don't know.
Shit, you do put it on. All right, let me show this.
For the first time, Los Angeles has elected a woman mayor.
Look at her.
Didn't say black woman. Said
of course she ain't gonna say. They didn't even say black woman in the article. They said woman. So to me, Karen Bass did not want the article to say black woman. I think that was her.
I don't know.
Our City of Angels was founded 241 years ago. And for 128 of those years, since 1894, the Evil of Los Angeles has been dedicated to uplifting the women of this city. And so it is with a special feeling in my heart and with the thoughts of my mother and my daughters and all of the women in this city that I stand before you in this place as the next mayor of Los Angeles.
Man, oh man.
Every situation like Wakanda.
Doesn't it seem like it goes right with Wakanda? Like the invasion. I think I showed this last week, didn't I? Let me show this.
And Martin Luther
you showed
King
this all
Jr.'s
week.
Okay, well, they was trying to say they were part of the civil rights thing, and that's not true at all.
Yep.
They consider themselves white.
Yep. Still do to this day.
All right, let me
like Neymar gonna have he gonna have a brown picture behind him, but he don't look nothing like the picture in Wakanda.
Who?
You remember Neymar? We were talking about how he had that picture behind him of the brown.
Yeah. It didn't look like him. Yeah, like a black person.
Mayan people
were black, but he came be claiming somebody else's culture apparently. But Regina said, y'all remember Biden berated the black caucus. Y'all better get hood with the Latinos. Yeah, he said they're about to be the very valuable in this country.
And she taking advice from her massa.
I'm glad you said that too, Regina, because I got something right next that's coming up that's gonna be very it's gonna be connected to that. Let me you about to say go ahead?
No, that was it.
Okay.
Karen Bass taking orders from Biden, her master, getting in line with the Latinos.
All right. 4 largest city in America will be led by black mayors.
And it's gonna go down.
So there's LA.
They setting them up.
LA, New York, Chicago. Representative Karen Bass has sworn to Los Angeles next month. Black people will be leading 4 largest cities in America as black mayors continue to win elections this cycle. We are excited that for the first time, 4 largest cities, New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Houston, each led by African-American mayor. The African American Mayors Association said on Thursday. Bass, a 6th-term congresswoman who represents South and West Los Angeles, will be Los Angeles' first female mayor. She will be sworn on December 12th. New York City manager. Go ahead.
Notice how they keep saying first female.
Woman, yeah. They don't care about the black.
They could have said first female and first black mayor.
I don't think she's the first black
female.
Oh yeah. New York City Mayor Eric Adams, a retired New York Police Department captain, took his oath early this year. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot was elected in 2019 and is currently running for re-election. I don't know how she's going to win.
If Lori Lightfoot win, then we know
she's going to win. She's going to win.
We know what that is.
Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner has been in office since 2016, and his current term concluded at the end of next year. The 4 of them members of the Democratic Party. Phyllis Dickerson, CEO of African American Mayors Association, said black mayors bring a different perspective to public office, can identify not only with problems they have experienced, like the need for public housing and food insecurities, but solutions to these issues. She believing having the 4 cities led by black people will have a positive impact locally and nationally. It won't. Boy, some rat mother.
They set them up. They love being set up. They love it. They love it.
Now, at the same time, look at the articles they're writing. I'm going to tie this in. Just bear with me. Population in the U.S. as small towns shrink, is immigration the answer? If the growing population is necessary for a healthy U.S. economy, the country may have to rely on immigration to deliver it. So, I've gotten the 4 largest cities in the country to have black mayors. And from what I've seen, especially one of them, are very pro-immigration.
Karen Bass?
What is the duty of these mayors? Now watch this. In late October, an angled adjustable ramp connecting to shore of the Mississippi River at Cool Casino Riverboat made it easy to see how low water levels had dropped in southeast Missouri. The downward slope also resembled the population decline in the surrounding town. The Century Casino provided a crucial source of employment for the town, which lost many of its local businesses, and a Walmart, which closed after 42 years in 2019. But 2 of its decks were closed because of the drought, even though the river returns to more normal level and the whole boat reopens, the fortune of the town may not change. Walmart hurt us when it came to it, and it hurt us when it went out. She says, the mayor of whatever, you're not going to get those mom and pop shops back again. So they got rid. And what happened during the pandemic? A lot of those mom and pop shops, a lot of those small businesses were forced to close.
Even before then, they would have closed because, they were going up on they were going up on the minimum wage. And a lot of these restaurants were like, we can't afford those type of wages.
So right now, the interest rate, the home ownership interest rates are high.
And Seattle is the 6th most expensive.
Now, back in the day, our grandparents, if they was able to buy a house, it's because they had good credit. I was listening to a guy today talk about this. He said, back in my day, a 680, you needed a 680 to buy a house, and that wasn't even considered good credit. I remember we used to hear, what's the number we used to hear?
720?
720. So 680 wasn't even considered good, but you could buy a house with it. He said, now you can get it with 625. So now black people, they have the credit, but guess what they do? They go up on the interest rate. You can't afford it. You can't find no $50,000, $75,000, $85,000 house, $100,000 house.
The little houses here is ridiculous how much money they cost.
So I was talking about the cycles, how they move black people in particular from the suburbs to the city, back to the suburbs, back to the city. Every 20 plus years, they start moving black people out to the suburbs so they can build a city up. Then after another 20 plus years, they start raising the interest rates of the homes, making them too expensive, and make the black people move into the cities where the ghettos and the projects are. That's what they're back and doing now. Now they're trying to do this to everybody now, not just black people. A lot of these cities, Seattle, Atlanta, New York, California, you can't live in these cities. They're too expensive.
Unless you got money.
Exactly. So now you're forced to go out to the rural areas, but who gonna move into the cities? Oh, you can't buy a house out there in the rural areas. So you need to move into the city where we're gonna put affordable housing or projects or ghettos.
They're building a lot of affordable housing here.
Because that's where they want you to live. Let me show this right here. I want to show you what Chuck Schumer had to say.
Now more than ever, we're short of workers. We have a population that is not reproducing it on its own with the same level that it used to. The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here.
So is immigrants and dreamers two categories of people?
You saw what he just did.
So
Dreamers
the
are the
immigrants is
Mexicans.
black.
The dreamers are the Mexicans. The rest are the black ones.
Okay.
You caught that too.
Wow.
So what they're saying is, stop. What they're saying is, they want to make these illegals, these undocumented people, make them citizens because the population, as we all know, the population is shrinking because they've socially changed the dynamic between male and female to make people not want kids, not want marriage. They've made those things seem bad or not
because
worth
of the place where the economy it is. People like
not
I
just
can't
the
afford to have
economy,
kids.
the relationship they've created through their movies and television between
That's
men and
true.
women. They've socially engineered society for men and women to think we're not supposed to obviously be a yin and a yang. We actually supposed
We're at
to
war with one another.
Exactly. That's why they got this bullshit gender war thing. They've created this. So now they're not having kids. They're not getting married, having kids. They can't buy houses. They're forced to live in the projects and lower income housing. We need the immigrants to stabilize the society, the economy. And it's the Democrats doing this to you. And you vote for them.
Yep. And they're going to continue voting for them. Ain't shit going to change.
I don't get it, man.
They don't even have to offer a fish plate no more.
Well, what's his name did? We'll get to that. Economist explains why the floor is coming for U.S. housing market. This is why earlier when we talked about the Black Panther movie, and then I saw Chuck Schumer say that, I said, man, they really do use movies to prepare you. They use movies almost to not predict. What's the word they use? What do they call it? Something program. I forgot the word.
Propaganda?
It's basically propaganda, yeah. But they use movies to prepare you for what's coming.
Yeah. Movies are...
So the movies show the invasion of these token people into Wakanda. So you can say you can use that as a comparison to the Mexicans going into the black neighborhood.
They've been going into the black neighborhood.
But they're not preparing you to, as Biden said, work with them.
Oh, yeah. And that scene where I keep talking about when they was in the boat.
Yeah.
And it was 8 of them and thousands of, that's y'all. That's why that guy made that comment in that about that lady who, the Hispanic lady that was talking shit about black people, the councilwoman.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, they're loud, but there's not a lot of them. There's more of us.
Yeah, they're just louder, but there's more of us. That's why he stepped down, because he feel like...
And he still ain't stepped down.
He feel like there's more of us here, so...
Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry.
If we went to a white person's home and it was their family dinner and we were sitting there at the table.
I'm sorry. She said she's been in the system for 5 decades. She has had... Mute your mic. They heard that plane. They heard the plane. You hear that? The plane. All right, never mind. She said she's been in the system for 5 decades. She has had plenty of white and Latin explain to avoid saying black. Yeah, like she was fighting saying the word black is crazy. I'm still on the mayor of LA. Name is Karen. That's all we need to know. She's a Karen. Look who's beyond Chuck Schumer. They don't look like us. A predictive thank you, Keeper. Yeah, that's it. Predictive programming. That's it.
Yeah, that was a good one, Regina. Her name is Karen, and she definitely is a Karen.
Yeah. Yeah, he said, look who behind it. Yeah, exactly. Chuck Schumer got a bunch of
Asians
and Hispanics
and
behind
Arabs.
him. He got everybody else behind him except
he don't even got the black immigrants behind
that
him.
even got them. He referred to them. They're just immigrants. The Mexicans are dreamers. They have a dream. They're coming to America for the dream.
Like the Selena song, I'll be dreaming.
The black ones just coming here to make shit worse.
When she was saying that song, She'll Be Dreaming of Them Coming Tonight, she was talking about the Mexicans crossing
the border. I'm dreaming. The other Mexican got up out of here.
Negroes, we give Selena way too much credit.
For what?
Her ass really wasn't that big.
Wow, nice. Why you sexualizing that woman?
She had a strong ass face.
Why you
Go back and look at some of those pictures of Selena.
All right, Negro. Ex-host Tiffany. Now look, this is not a big story. It's just more keep coming out on this story, and it's just hilarious. It's funny to me.
Don't talk about Tiffany Cross.
Ex-host Tiffany Cross wanted to take down MSNBC before exit. Ex-MSNBC host Tiffany Cross learned that she was getting pushed out days ahead of her exit and allegedly threatened to go out in a blaze and take down the cable TV network and its boss, Rashida Jones. The Post has learned from sources close to MSNBC.
Sound like a black woman.
Now, MSNBC the one who released this.
Yeah, they trying to,
now, remember, a bunch of quote-unquote black leaders wrote a letter, signed a letter to condemn MSNBC. So MSNBC said, okay. And they dropped this in their lap. Like, what about this? She says he's going to take us down and go out in a blaze. So she knew she was gone before they announced it. So she didn't know she was leaving. It wasn't an abrupt firing.
I don't want to go to the grill. I don't want to go to BT. Don't take me to TV One.
I was thinking too, why don't BT have a news, do news? Not just BET news, like news, just on BET. Like Fox, MSNBC but just BET news. Well, you like the grill that you sit down and talk about recent news. Like, why don't they have it on BET? They think niggas don't watch the news? Niggas love watching news.
Niggas is nosy as hell.
Yeah, Travis said we know this. So the controversial anchor who the weekend show The Cross Connection abruptly canceled early this month as NBC elected not to renew her contract, according to sources, began frantically calling on other journalists, media executives, and social activists a week before her ouster in a bid to rally support, a source with knowledge alleged.
Well, so what do you think? So you have 40 people that sign a letter saying for you, and you're telling the people you're going out with a blazer. Even if you stayed there, what did you think was going to happen? It would have been an uncomfortable work environment.
Well, it is Hollywood, so they're used to those type of business dealings.
What she did to me symbolizes black people trying to stay in an abusive relationship with white people.
Yeah,
we not going nowhere. We gonna fight. No. Sometimes you want to be like, I don't want to be associated with a group of people that want to be around me.
MSNBC execs and Jones, the network's president, did not get wind of the alleged calls until after Cross was let go, sources told the Post. It is unclear how Cross knew of her looming dismissal, but insiders speculate that her agent had been given the news while trying to negotiate a new contract for his client.
They got to support Israel.
Huh?
You don't see what it says, support Israel?
Where?
Go up a little bit more. Support children's health in Israel.
What? Nigga, we ain't even got free health care in America.
As Queen Ramona said, we've given you more everything.
All right, let's show this. Now, look, this is the crazy. Listen to this. Now, the Cross know her agent, Henry, that's a Jew, ain't it?
Who?
Is this a Jew? That last name made me think that's a Jew.
Power broker?
I don't know. That last name, I don't know. I'm not going to say. Okay, so her lawyer responded to a request for comment. Her lawyer, Brian Friedman, no, that's her lawyer, I'm sorry, Brian Friedman, also did not return calls or emails for comment. And MSNBC declined to comment. MSNBC insiders claim Cross was ousted partly over her habit of making vulgar comments and name-calling on air. But the Post has learned that MSNBC insiders that said she had been under fire for allegedly racking up as much as $100,000 in expenses for 5-star hotel stays. During her 2-year tenure at MSNBC, the host took trips to Los Angeles and the Super Bowl, portraying them as work trips, sources claim. Cross's Oscar trip, in which she allegedly stayed in a Beverly, Wilshire of Rodeo Drive for an extended stay, raised eyebrows, according to the source. She's staying at a listen. She's staying at a hotel NBC's execs don't stay at. The source said at the Four Seasons owned hotel, which charges more than $1,000 a night for basic room during high season.
Wasn't there an article where it said it's unsafe for black women to be in first class?
Yes.
Coach.
It was his exec who said it was a woman. I can't remember if she was in politics or something.
She said it was unsafe for black women to be in coach.
A pastor.
They had to be in
Was she a pastor?
I don't know. But Tiffany Cross said it's unsafe for a black woman to not be in a 4-star hotel.
Listen to this. Look, Travis, she mistook working in television news for being a celebrity, the sources added. She was making north of $200K and she acted like she made $5 million. Elsewhere, Cross allegedly irked colleagues as she demanded more office space despite the fact she was only on the air for once a week. An insider added. Management wasn't receptive partly because her show was in last place, despite her public insistence that her numbers were strong, according to the sources close to the situation.
They always give a black woman a show on the weekends. There was another black woman. She had like a list a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
She was on the weekends, and they got rid of her. They fired her ass too. I think what was her name?
I don't know.
She used to wear braids.
She should have left it alone. Now they done exposed this. Now they could be lying.
This got you looking like a straight. What's the word?
It looked like she was like, "I'm gonna spend this money then since they're gonna try to get me out of here. I'm gonna spend it." She took a trip to the Super Bowl.
She was an expensive employee.
She said the NBC execs didn't stay at these hotels, which I think that's a lie. That's a lie.
They probably stayed at more expensive hotels.
They stayed at even more expensive hotels. Attorney Ben Crump is fired up about black farmers. Speaks at Black Men Excel about launching a lawsuit against Biden administration close to midterms. What a lawsuit.
Exactly. It never came to fruition because we didn't see shit. That would have been a great headline for the Republican Party.
Sue the Biden administration, I'm sorry. Journalist Ed Gordon sat down with civil rights attorney Ben Crump for a conversation Thursday at the Black Enterprise Black Men Excel Summit in National Harbor, Maryland. Crump, who was fresh off receiving his Black Men Excel Award Wednesday night, discussed environmental racism, black farmers, and more. The conversation started with Crump, coined as a Black America's Attorney General, discussing the class action lawsuit black farmers have filed against the Biden administration, which unveiled a $4 billion program for them in 2021 that was part of American Rescue Plan. However, go ahead.
What's the name of this conference? It was called
Black Men Excel Summit.
Oh, Freemason.
Yeah,
they had a Freemason meeting. That's what that was. Okay.
They just did it on camera. Black farmers were left on the hook for months before the program was reworked and broadened after white farmers halted the program in court, claiming racial discrimination. They weren't letting this shit ride. And it's like, but we've been getting effed over for years. You can't let us have this. White farmers and the Asian too. They was like, no, this excludes us. It's not fair. We got the same bills as them.
Oh, Wakanda forever at some bank.
Oh.
Commercials.
Moms for Liberty back school board members. Fire superintendent ban critical race theory.
We still talking about this?
No, Chad, this is a different story.
No, I mean in general.
What, critical race theory?
The critical race theory. We know you ain't gonna put it in school.
No. Listen to what they did. The Berkeley County South Carolina School Board made several big moves in its first meeting after the election. The board's former chair said it was a political witch hunt. These women got power and fired all of them. They fired a superintendent. They fired a council member. They told him to get out.
Oh, that's the black man with the walking
chain? Yeah, he was
chain?
a superintendent. They fired his black ass. So these women, white women, got in power and fired them. I said, that's what you're supposed to do.
Black people don't do that.
When people are doing something you don't like and you get some power, you get rid of them. You don't negotiate with them.
There's no
negotiation. It's over. On Tuesday evening, the Berkeley County School District in South Carolina swore on the board members who were elected last week, 6 of whom were endorsed by the conservative activist group Moms for Liberty. Within 2 hours, the school board had voted to fire the district's first black superintendent, terminate the district's lawyer, ban critical race theory, and set up a committee to decide whether certain books and materials should be banned from schools. They're protecting their children. What they think is best for their children. It's not about whether we agree with them or not. They're doing what's best for their children.
Why don't we need to get in that mind state of doing?
Now, voting for this part of policy is important, especially if you're a parent. They did what you're supposed to do. What's wrong with you?
Yep.
So you shut the window.
Unfortunate.
So you shut the window.
That we can't do the same.
Exactly. In addition, the board voted to replace the chair with Mac McQuillan, a local attorney and one of the board members backed by Moms for Liberty. The rapid move Tuesday in Berkeley County District, the 4th largest in the state, showed the impact of Moms for Liberty's focus on electing conservative school board members and prompted uproar among some community members in attendance.
That's the new person? Oh,
that's the old dude. That's the who got fired.
Deion Jackson.
Deion Jackson was voted the district superintendent in a special meeting of Berkeley County District Board of South Carolina on May 19, 2021. Mm-hmm. And within a year,
they got his black
ass
out.
They got your ass out of there. You wouldn't do what they wanted, they got rid of you. I'm not mad with them.
I ain't mad at them.
You get rid of people who don't do what you want. They got the power. They used it. Let me show this right here. This is what we do when we get a little bit. Black Lives Matter leader in Greater Atlanta indicted for spending donations on a house, guns, and prostitutes.
Man, albinos do that. Black people don't do that. Albinos do that.
This is 2021. This is what they do. Black Lives Matter got 90 million. That's what we know. And we don't know where the hell that money is at.
Kamala?
I want to show you what she said.
No, Kamala. Here she go again. Spewing out dumb shit. I don't even got to listen to it. I know it's going to be stupid.
Why she keep doing this to herself, man? Is she going to run for president? You think she's going to run for president?
Bet she had the whole like...
had a whole like rapper just to make ends meet.
Who you
What
talking
else?
to?
Talking to you?
What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid. That is why we put them in dormitories. And they have a resident assistant. They make really bad decisions.
The black woman cringed.
She like, why
did
would
this
you
bitch
say
really
that?
say that?
You could tell her face like, why would you say that?
She like,
I don't even know how old she is. She like she older than that, but she's still like,
this ain't a good look.
This is, why would you say this out loud? Like, and then a conservative dude posted this right here. Look. He says she's right. Look, 18, 24-year-olds, but voted for Biden over Trump. They do make dumb decisions. I said, how do you fall for this? He hit her with a clean one.
It was the 18 to 24-year-olds that, wow.
So he showed that 18, 24-year-old, when they did vote for Trump, they voted for Biden. And you calling that same demographic dumb. So what do you think they're going to do?
Well, if they dumb, they'll vote for him again.
That's true.
So she may be right.
She might be right.
Keep them dumb.
Keep them dumb.
According to Kamala.
All right, I'm going to show you this.
Here go that
I do want to take a moment just to speak about history. You know, this state is blessed because we've had a lot of firsts tonight. Aruna Miller, the first immigrant and the first woman of color in the state's history to serve as lieutenant governor. Brooke Learman, our first female comptroller. Anthony Brown, our first black attorney general.
Why is this worth cheering for?
Boy, he studied Barack Obama through and through. He took Barack Obama classes 101.
He's not Barack Obama. Somebody pointed this out. He's not Barack Obama 2.0. He's Barack Obama 3.0.
He learns every time you talk, have to be charismatic, smile, gestures, look at the crowd.
And he's not going as far as the Trump thing with the hands. He's not going.
Obama didn't do that.
He didn't do that. But I'm saying a lot of the Republicans are doing the hands thing. Look
Smile
at Marco
with
Rubio.
your eyes.
Yeah. He's definitely Obama. But why is it such a celebration to hear first black? Like, no, first black at this point ain't usually a good thing. Let's keep it buck. It ain't been a good thing in a while.
Luckily, it's the first black immigrants that they are putting into these spaces. So,
and
is he gonna sing?
Let's
I'm
see.
waiting for the sing in the
soon come. And it is and it's not lost on me that I've made a little history tonight myself as well.
I'm sorry, I got to point
And
this out.
they falling for it.
I ain't never seen a dude that ran for office bite his lips this much.
You know, he trying to get some people to drop their panties on the floor.
He trying to throw panties on the stage.
He trying to throw panties on the stage.
He gonna get some boxes.
If they go get the big ass drawers out. Hey, he might take it and put it in his damn jacket.
Big ass drawer.
Want to smell, shit later like the police officers. Musty shit. That's what he want to smell.
But
All right, I want to move on. So this. Go ahead.
Kifa said, "Close your eyes." He sounds white, just like a Barack Obama.
Just like a Barack Obama. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight.
When you said the Latinos are the new whites, right? Oh, they're the old whites. They became white.
They dingy.
Dingy white.
They dingy white.
Yeah.
The Asians are dingy too.
Yeah, movies show you what's coming while at the same time programming you to accept and participate in the propaganda. Exactly. That's why you got so many Negroes running around talking about immigration is this super important issue. You've been told that's an important issue. A lot of you. Local elections are the only elections that really matter. I agree. But close your eyes. He said white. That's how they like them. Dark on the outside and white on the inside.
They're like an Oreo.
Yeah, they like Oreos. Funny, that's a slur. That's a slur to like biracial people, calling them Oreos. That's what they said. No, sorry, not biracial people. Black people who grew up around in like the suburbs and got that kind of what they call act white, quote unquote. People call them Oreos. I didn't know this until
I didn't know it either.
Recently.
There's some new black stuff.
New blacks. Former President Donald Trump announces a White House bid for 2024.
I knew Mr. Trump was gonna run again.
You know what's crazy? He's done. You wanna know why I know he's done? He a struggle LL Cool J. You see it? You see it, Mystery Man? He was trying to play up, like he was biting on his lip and shit. Like, nigga, what's going on? You a politician?
Hell.
No, all he had to do is marry a man in a dress and he'll be Rock 2.0.
He talking about Michael.
Michael? Who is Michael? Oh, what's that there? All right.
What's that smell?
No.
My ass. That's what the police. That's what
he gonna smell.
I'm not gonna say that. That's fucked up. I ain't gonna say it.
Yeah, leave it alone. Leave it alone.
It's not funny. You know, males experience that.
Yeah.
It's not funny.
All right. You know how I know I don't think Trump got the steam he used to have? So when he announced his bid to run, it was like,
you know what they did? It was disrespectful. When he was announcing his bid from his Mar-a-Lago house,
they cut away.
That's what I'm saying. And they didn't even air it.
Fox News
cut away, and the CNN and them, they didn't even air it.
Yeah. My point is, Fox News was like, yeah, okay, he announced to move on. Like because so much crazy shit has happened in politics and in media the last 6 years that there's nothing he could have said that would have like made people go, what did he say? He said everything. Everything has been done. It's like
so you're saying the shock value with Trump is gone.
The shock value is gone. We heard Biden say that some of the craziest shit with his melted brain. It's like there's nothing Trump could do to make people go, what did he say? I think the Republicans, the mainstream Republicans are trying to move away from Trump.
I don't think they're going to be able to move away from him, though.
I don't know. And the Democrats are trying to create a wedge within the Republican Party.
That's why they put out those articles saying
Trump was mocking
Trump is
DeSantis.
the one that reason why the red wave didn't happen
because of Trump,
which is a lie because the most 90% of the people he were backing actually won.
Now, I don't know about this midterm election. I didn't look at the numbers yet. But we'll see. Only people I know that he was back that lost was the Carrie Lake chick.
And she says she's not conceding.
And Dr. Oz.
I think she should concede because I don't think nothing's going to come of it. But the lady has a right to stand on what she thinks. Oh, they calling her biracial?
Yeah.
See, once again.
Trying to claim her as black, yeah.
What was that thing you were saying? What? Somebody said
that the reason why they think, what's the name, that chick from Dr. Phil, Bad Baby?
Bad Baby.
She came out and people were saying how she looked like she got what they call black fisting.
You know what she did?
And she got a tan and stuff. And he was like, well, the reason why people are trying to say she's trying to be black is because black people accept these ambiguous looking people as black and they want them to be black.
Exactly.
So you think she's trying to be black by looking like the ambiguous people.
I swear it feels like these white women will go off and see a lighter skinned black person and go to their surgery and try to look like them. Because she kind of look like T.I. daughter. Bad Baby.
Maybe. I haven't looked at it like that.
And what's her name? Kylie Jenner. She tried to look like India Love.
Oh, y'all, if y'all don't know, India, the Westbrooks.
I ain't gonna them some dangerous girls.
Them some very Chappelle hold those girls close to his heart.
I don't talk about nobody.
Nancy Pelosi announces she won't run for leadership post, marking the end of an era. Oh, she made $100 million in office. She get to take her bra off and just let them things flop out at home. And Paul Pelosi could take the hem out his ass, and
Paul Pelosi said, "Damn it, Nancy's gonna be home."
Nancy Pelosi gonna ruin his time alone.
He gonna be going to more clubs in downtown San Francisco.
He gonna be caught in the winery again. So she's not gonna run for leadership position, and everybody immediately thought, "Oh, you know who's gonna try to get that position?
Who?
AOC."
That's what I said.
But no, not AOC.
I said I almost felt like AOC was destined. She was supposed to be one to replace.
Well, her name hasn't came up yet.
Well, they could be doing that to try to,
yeah, possibly
throw you off guard.
Let's listen to Nancy drunk ass.
For every purpose under heaven. My friends, no matter what title you all, my colleagues, have bestowed upon me, speaker, leader, whip, there is no greater official honor for me than to stand on this floor and to speak for the people of San Francisco. This I will continue to do as a member of the House, speaking for the people of San Francisco, serving the great state of California, and defending our Constitution. And with great confidence in our caucus, I will not seek re-election to Democratic leadership in the next Congress. For me, the hour's come for a new generation to lead the Democratic caucus that I so deeply respect.
Okay, that's what you said. Now, this is what Obama immediately said. Obama said, Speaker Nancy Pelosi will go down as one of the most accomplished legislators in American history, breaking barriers, opening doors for others, and working every day to serve the American people. I couldn't be more grateful for her friendship and leadership.
He in the black, she in the white.
Now, look at this. This is who the first name that came out. Hakeem Jeffries launches bid to be Nancy's successor.
Yeah, I was talking to an old employee, and she said something about Hakeem
Jeffries.
I didn't know who she was. He was.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was black.
House Democrats likely to choose New York Representative Hakeem Jeffries to succeed Speaker Nancy Pelosi, a potentially historic move as the first black person to lead a party in Congress. Jeffries launched a bid for a House Democrat leader on Friday, promising his colleagues in a letter that he would empower and protect them and expand their ranks. Now, what is this? They go from completely ignoring to all of a sudden wanting one of them to be the damn leader in leadership position of the caucus. Is this a political move, or is this him being ambitious?
Maybe some of both.
Is this him launching his own campaign and going rogue, or is this all right, we're gonna do this. We'll announce it this way. What do you think?
I think a little bit of both.
So you think he just ambitious enough to ignore what the party wants and go for it,
and then he may have been selected.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm at. Yeah. So you just described it in a better way. Is he selecting himself, or they selected him?
He ain't gonna select himself.
He can try.
He could try, but when Nancy announced, they already decided who they wanted before Nancy even announced it. So, yeah.
I haven't heard nothing about AOC, but you can see here, J-Pal, she's not doing it. She's not running. So
what was the name they gave them?
The Squad.
The Squad. They don't talk about them no more.
Not really. So we're gonna see if AOC try to get speaker position.
If we see those teeth.
Leadership position, huh?
If we see those teeth.
Now look at this. Speaking of Nancy, NBC News reporter Miguel, I can't say that last name, suspended over retracted Paul Pelosi story. If you go back to I think it was like 2 episodes ago, we showed this clip here, and I'm gonna just show it right now. He was suspended for this.
When officers arrived here at the Pelosi home exactly a week ago today, they initially didn't have any idea exactly what was going on. They knew they had a high priority call on their hand. What was unclear, what was happening inside the property just behind.
Brenda said Nancy looked sober.
She did.
She
looked
did look sober. That's crazy. She looked sober.
That's why, normally I would have said Nancy got something, hiding between her, that bottle of, liquor, but she didn't have it on her. She had the bags under her eyes.
She looked like
was completely sober.
So he told that story of that, and that got retracted by NBC. They've suspended him now. An NBC Today show correspondent has been suspended as the network conducts an investigation info his now retracted story about attack on Paul Pelosi. Journalist Miguel has reported that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband didn't let on that he was in danger when cops showed up at his San Francisco home the night before he was assaulted with a hammer. The correspondent has been suspended for an erroneous story. He now deleted clips that when is the last time a news host or reporter got suspended for telling a false story?
Well, then why didn't what's her name?
Rachel Maddow should have been suspended.
Exactly.
She was lying all 4 years. How did she not get suspended, but he gets suspended? This how you know he probably was telling the truth.
What was the woman that used to be on the show with Gail and Charlie Rose?
I know you're talking about.
We always forget her name.
She's not important. That's why she the one that had to get kicked off the show because she wasn't pulling in numbers like Gail. Because you don't remember? I can't remember her name right now. But I know you're talking about. What are you about to say?
She put out something saying that Trump lied about the files or something.
Yeah.
And they didn't do anything to her make her retract what she said. It was just,
So they said the now deleted clip said Paul Pelosi 82 answered the door for cops who responded to 911 call, but that they were seemingly unaware that he had been called to the home and the Speaker of the House. Pelosi didn't declare an emergency or try to leave, but instead walked several feet back into the foyer toward David DePappy, who had broken into the home and was carrying a hammer, sources told NBC. Well, the affidavit we read said the same damn thing. The affidavit said the same thing. So, yeah. We know Paul Pelosi attack. New federal indictment reveals what suspect was wearing when the police arrived. Now they're saying he was wearing shorts, a sweater, and some running shoes. So he was wearing, first we were told he was wearing underwear. Then we were told he was wearing all black with pants and a sweater. Now they're saying he was wearing shorts with a sweater and running shoes.
He must have been changing attire.
Yeah.
During his encounter.
I guess they were role playing.
That's what I'm about to hit around to.
They were role playing.
During his encounter with Paul, he changed a couple of outfits.
Listen, Mitch McConnell votes against Respect for Marriage Act. The good news, the Respect for Marriage Act, which would protect same-sex and interracial marriage, is poised to pass the Senate this week after 12 Republicans joined Democrats in voting for the legislation. The awkward news, Mitch McConnell, the Senate minority leader, voted against the bill despite the fact that he himself is in an interracial marriage. McConnell has been married to Elaine Chao, the former U.S. Secretary of Transportation, and the first Asian-American woman to have a job since 1993. She was born in Taipei, Taiwan, and moved to the United States as a child. The bill McConnell voted against would codify same-sex and interracial marriage, would also repeal the 1996 Defense of Marriage Act, which defined marriage as existing only between a man and a woman, and it would protect interracial marriage by mandating the state recognize marriage regardless of race, sex, race, ethnicity, and national origin.
When they talk about interracial, they talking about with black people.
Exactly. But
stop playing stupid.
The crazy part is he voted against it because of this part, and you know that.
Yeah.
The same thing. That's why he voted against it. Why are you surprised? That's why you tied it together. You thought they were going to scare him. Mitch said he about that action. What you going to do, make him leave his wife?
They old as hell.
Because of Bill? That means we leave the country. We got millions. We paid. Do y'all know who her daddy is? Look him up.
Just like a turtle.
Look up who Mitch McConnell's wife daddy is. She come from money. Ukraine refuses to accept it. It was behind Poland missile strike despite NATO forgiveness. So if you didn't know, this is the last. Ukraine tried to pop it off. World War III.
So they lied on Russia and said Russia did it, but it was them.
So what happened is a missile hit near Poland and killed 2 people. And immediately they said it was Russia. And NATO, Poland, and America said, nah, that was your missile, but we forgive you. And I'm like, wait. Ukraine killed 2 people. And so y'all Russia, just like, shouldn't you be like, y'all, that's NATO, kick in.
So that means that they should not be supplied with any more missiles.
They should be going to war with Ukraine right now.
Because they're not a part of. Wow.
It says despite NATO forgiveness. So you just forgive them for killing 2 people?
So when Russia accidentally,
are you gonna forgive them?
There ain't gonna be no forgiveness for them though.
Now listen, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said he had no doubt that his country was not to blame for the missile strike that had hit the Polish village, killing 2 people, despite NATO's initial assessment that the blast took place as the Ukraine was trying to defend itself against Russia. Zelensky said Wednesday to Ukrainian TV that the top military commanders had assured him that it was not our missile and not our missile strike. That was the cause of Tuesday incident, which provoked the international fervor and fear that a wider conflict between NATO and Russia would erupt. I have no doubt in Tuesday's report to me personally, from the commander of the Air Force Commander-in-Chief, that it was not our missile and not our missile strike. So Biden said,
it was you.
It was you. Joe Biden disputes.
And you know Sky News is going to be on their ass.
Joe Biden disputes Volodymyr Zelensky's claim that the missile that landed in Poland was not Ukrainian. Joe Biden has said the trajectory suggests the missile was unlikely to have come from Russia, and was asked about Volodymyr Zelensky's comments in the issue. He told reporters, that's not the evidence. So he's saying, look, Zelensky lying. That don't fit with the evidence, but you did it. It's cool. We good. We ain't going to do nothing to you. See,
Biden said, I have dementia, and even I know that.
Exactly. This nigga, he really can damn know where he at, and he know. Now that wasn't y'all. That wasn't Russia.
What?
Poland, NATO say missile strike wasn't Russian attack. So the fact that he keep trying to blame Russia means he wants them to attack Russia. How the Biden White House scrambled at the Poland missile blast. President Joe Biden has been adamant the United States will back Ukraine as 9-month fight to repel a Russian invasion, but he has insisted we will not fight in the Third World War in Ukraine. So when missiles struck a village in Poland near the Ukraine border on November 15th, and there were early claims that it was launched by Russia, he and his top team of advisors were jolted into crisis mode. The United States and other NATO nations would be obliged to defend fellow NATO member Poland militarily if it were a Russian attack, a situation that could escalate into a global war most wanted to avoid. Do they really want to avoid it? Otherwise, you would stop giving Ukraine weapons and tell them to negotiate a peace deal.
Yeah.
So,
and approving a $13 billion deal to help Ukraine.
School districts across our area tell us they're seeing significant increases in children that are homeless.
I'm announcing another $800 million to further augment Ukraine.
A revealing look at homelessness among the middle class.
U.S. have announced new military assistance for Ukraine. They've promised an extra $713 million.
We experienced as a county a 22% increase in homelessness.
The Senate overwhelmingly passing a new $40 billion Ukraine.
So while the homelessness is rising in America, as I said, this is all by design. They want you homeless so they can put you in their camps, or affordable housing.
Instead of, what is it called? DSHS, what? Not D, it's something.
DHS?
DE something.
What's it about?
It's the affordable home. It's like for homeless people. It's not like affordable housing. They actually live there until they get up on their feet. I don't think they pay rent.
Yeah.
That's where they want you at. Where there's
camp.
Security downstairs, people at the front desk.
Exactly.
That's going to be military people for your ass.
Yeah.
Ukraine.
As they go broke, as they tell you it's going broke, they keep giving people money. CNN, Sky News journalists stripped of their rid of their credentials for reporting from cursing. Several journalists working for foreign media have been stripped of their accreditation. What the hell? Hold on. Excuse me, y'all.
Ain't that accreditation?
I think it is, but I don't want to say it wrong. I want to say accreditation. I want to say it wrong.
Accreditation.
Accreditation. Okay, I was right. Look, man, I had to make sure. I don't want to say it wrong. Accreditation for reporting from Liberated Cursing. On Sunday, a post appeared to official post Facebook page in the General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine saying the number of media representatives who have broken the rules on working in the area of hostilities have had their work permits revoked and their press cards invalidated. And the reason why they said they actually banned him from Ukraine is because he's the one who videotaped this. Let me just show this video.
Earlier this week, residents there have been celebrating their long-awaited freedom, many taking to the streets, waving flags and cheering for the soldiers.
Now they saying he was not doing a Nazi salute. He was waving at the crowd. They saying he wasn't doing that, but what it looked like.
Their hands don't lie.
Look at it. Now this is right here. This is proof that amongst the elite, there's a race to see who's going to prison first. Between Donald Trump, the Clintons, the Obamas.
I don't think the Obamas going.
The Obamas
not
too.
On the list.
It's a race to see who's going to prison. Michael B. wearing a Moore Miller looks like Will Smith. Nancy looks sober in that speech. We saw that. Yep, I agree to Trump. Truman show is over. Yeah, I think they moving on from Trump. They're gonna bring somebody new. Where's Moore? Almost like he's coming in at the right time. All right, let me show this. So now right here, I'm not even gonna show the video. Republicans tie Hunter Biden to human trafficking, announce probe. I'll just play it from right here. Hold on.
Involving the Biden family reviewed Hunter Biden's laptop and received documents of previously unknown transactions. What we found are business plans aimed at targets around the world based on influence peddling, including with people closely tied to foreign governments like China and Russia. Many transactions related to these businesses have raised red flags at U.S. banks. A suspicious activity report, or SAR, is a document a bank must file with the Treasury Department when a transaction is suspected to be related to money laundering or fraud or other types of criminal activity. According to media reports, the Biden family accumulated over 150 SARs. One SAR generated by an American bank to the Treasury Department connects Hunter Biden and his business associates to international human trafficking, among other illegal activities. The money that was being made from foreign principals in the same room as Joe Biden was increasingly spent on furthering illegal activity. The SARs show that Hunter Biden was conducting business with suspected human traffickers.
Now,
Can you think of
Now, I believe the Trump storyline is over. Look like the Biden storyline might be about to be over too. And now the Republicans are talking about an investigation for them, but that's not it.
It ain't gonna go nowhere.
He ain't gonna go nowhere. Immediately, Attorney General Merrick Garland named special counsel to lead Trump-related probes. So as soon as Donald Trump announces presidency, he runs for president in 2024. Attorney General Merrick Garland came out and named the special counsel.
What a coincidence.
So once again, who's gonna go to prison first? Who gonna catch who up? Because at some point, you keep talking like this, something gotta happen. Something gotta shake. We're gonna go through this quickly. Studies showing the vaccine harm immune systems now peer reviewed. This is out of a Dutch article. It's a Dutch article. In January, a preprint study showed the COVID vaccine suppressed the immune system, increased the risk of infection, disease, and cancer. The research has now been peer reviewed or independently verified and confirmed by other scientists. I can't even go through the article, but according to the YouTube rules, the vaccine is perfectly fine and healthy. And yeah, that's what you got to say on YouTube. It's perfectly fine and healthy and safe, according to the CDC.
When they can't tell the truth, they start telling lies.
COVID vaccine trials didn't monitor menstrual changes. Researchers say it's part of a bigger problem. Well, they came out and said they didn't even test for if it can stop the spreading of the virus. This is what the Pfizer exec said. We didn't even test to see if it can stop spreading. Can't read that one either.
One day we'll be able to live in a world
of free speech.
American democracy will return one day.
22 states asked feds to repeal COVID vaccine mandate for healthcare workers. You would think after the judge in New York did what he did, it would already be knocking down across the country. So now every other state like, yay, you can get rid of these mandates. Now they ain't asking for the back pay. They're like, we ain't even gonna ask for much. Just get rid of.
Oh, so that's still in effect. You have to be vaccinated in healthcare.
This stuff is still on the books.
Oh, I thought that was gone.
22 state attorney general was asking the Biden administration to end the draconian vaccine mandate for U.S. healthcare providers because it is causing critical shortages on healthcare workers and justified with outdated data and science and unjustified. Wait, it is justified? Okay, getting rid of it is justified. Okay, with outdated data and science. In a petition reviewed exclusive by Fox News Digital, 22 Republican state attorneys general of Montana demanded that the Health and Human Service Department and Center for Medical and Medicaid repeal the interim final rule, or IFR, that authorized the federal mandate to in effect since November 2021. When they gonna kick it? You think gonna kick it back off, or are they moving on? Something?
I ain't gonna say because every time we say something, it goes left. So I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing.
They always try to. They listening to us.
They listening.
They listening to it.
Trash attract.
Shanae hanging in low value blacks. Trash. Okay, I don't know who this. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's the end of that one. We kept y'all long enough. What's this one? Oh, 250. Look, it's shorter. Shorter than normal. You see that? Told you it'd be shorter.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything else you want to say?
Thanks for viewing the video and supporting the channel.
All right.
Make sure you hit the like button on your way out.
Yeah, be sure. Please hit the like button on your way out. Make sure, hopefully, if you enjoyed it, like it. But yeah, man, y'all, please like it. Comment.
Damn,
after.
Dude, stop begging. If they gonna like it, they not gonna like it.
I said the same thing at the end of every video. It's pre-scripted. I'm sorry. Subscribe and share it if you can. Y'all be safe. All pray. Hold on, before I do that. Okay. Yeah, y'all be safe. All praise to the Most High, and peace, man.
Thank you.